So the Crows are ready to go for this second round Wizard Cup clash against the Saints. They're already out on the ground. They've had a great start to 2002. Gary Ayres thrilled with their win last week over Brisbane. They got home by 2 points, but they got the win, and the Saints are ready as well. They too have had a fantastic start to 2002. They thrashed Melbourne last week. They come here armed with some big names, Lowe, Burke and Everett as well. Should be a beauty. Hello everyone, welcome along to Football Park. Great to have your company for this second round Wizard Cup clash between the Crows and St Kilda. As I said, both sides in great form. Adelaide winners last week over Brisbane and the Saints winners over Melbourne. We're going to have a look at the squads very shortly. We'll also have a listen to what Coach Gary Ayres had to say about the Crows today and also their expectations in 2002. In the meantime, let's have a chat to Rob Popplestone, who will be scouting the boundary line. Robbie, welcome along.
Good on you, Mark. It promises to be a great game. It's an absolutely gorgeous day, not a breath of wind. Beautiful blue sky, no excuses for poor football. I think we're going to see one of the best games of round two.
Who's favourite, do you think?
Look, I think the Adelaide Crows will start favourites, and deservingly so. Even when they've had bad years, they play pretty well here at home. Their win against Brisbane last week was good, and I think all the signs are there that the Adelaide Crows can put themselves, importantly, into the box seat come round three to extend their pre-season campaign.
Everyone's talking about the Saints now, Rob. Is it still too early, though?
Oh, look, I guess it is. After a disappointing year last year, they had nothing to lose this year. Their pre-season campaign has been spot on. There's some really good signs there.
Well, there's some good sides in this grouping too, no question about that. Let's have a look at the groupings as they stand at the moment. And St Kilda, they've got a good percentage, Rob. They can lose here today, but they can still make it.
Yeah, they can indeed. Melbourne are, I guess, out of the running, aren't they, after two losses? The Brisbane Lions, well, they've got their work against them over the next week or so. Adelaide, though, well, that's the big question mark. They showed a bit last week. Can they improve on that? If they can, they're going to be bring good form into the season proper.
Well, they've got a great opportunity, haven't they? Rob Popplestone spoke with Gary Ayres moments ago. His first question was, what did he think of the Saints last week?
Yeah, they did. I was very impressed because I thought they physically manhandled Melbourne to a degree last week, and really they had, I suppose, so much negativity towards the end of last year and also too over their pre-season, and obviously the way to silence all that is to come out and play well. So, you know, we know we've got a job on our hands out here today, but we're taking this competition very, very seriously, and if we can get over St Kilda today, well then hopefully we can book a place in a semi-final if we can do well.
Well, they can do well. He was pretty relaxed, and so are you.
Well, that's the sort of guy I am, of course, and I tell you what, if the Adelaide Crows are relaxed today, they play their best football, and they always do, and sides always do when they're relaxed, but they've got a couple of big names to get over today.
Yeah, no question about that. They've got three key players who we're going to have a look at right now, and they've got some young ones as well, but certainly some key players, and players, I guess, that have had the experience, and we're talking about Lowe first up.
Yeah, Stuart Lowe, he's so dangerous in the middle and also up forward, and I guess over the last year or so, his spells in the middle have meant danger up forward for opposition sides, because what it means is that Peter Everett can go forward and cause all sorts of chaos. But Stuart Lowe, he's been around for over a decade, a big body, a hard body to get over, and importantly, a good finisher.
Okay, now what about Berkey? 302 games, not a bad effort?
Great effort, isn't it? For a guy in his 30s, he still works the ball hard. He's had an impact up forward, hasn't he, in recent times after a long period in defence. And I tell you what, if he fires up forward, he again is the sort of guy that can inspire the whole side.
And lost the captaincy, yet that didn't matter to him because he is such a club man.
He is indeed, and some players respond better when they haven't got the weight of that expectation of being a captain.
And very quickly, no helmet.
No helmet for Nathan Burke, so watch out for that today. Ozzie Jones is a player I've got a real lot of time for. Over the last few years, he's been disappointing, but he's a real spurt player. When he hits the ground and he's in the right frame of mind, he can cut a side up. And what coaches do to players like Ozzie Jones, who don't have an impact at times, is they put him in defence, and that's what's happened with Ozzie Jones. So he can run hard and straight at the ball and cut up a midfielder. Mark, he's been good in doing that in recent times.
Oh, it's sensational, and I guess his best year was 1997, but this is an indication he's almost back to his best again.
He is too, and I like the way he gets rid of the ball and then he works hard, bum down, head down, everything, fights hard, gets another touch and then delivers. It's really good to see, it really is.
Okay, how the Adelaide, how do you reckon the Adelaide boys will be feeling at the moment? A bit nervous?
Look, they are. I guess it's the first game in front of a home crowd, and as I said, it's a gorgeous day, a big crowd starting to build up, and I think we're guaranteed good football, and I think we'll see it.
Okay, thanks Rob. We'll introduce you to the rest of the crew after the break. This is the Wizard Home Loans Cup, second round action. The Crows taking on the Saints. Back soon.
She said she was 25. He presumed she was of age. She lied.
She was a client. It happened before I knew she was a client.
He's already been busted for drugs. Now attorney Nick Fallon's caught between a rock and an underage girl. She says.
He says.
She swears.
Why did you lie?
In a special double episode, Nick Fallon is accused of the unthinkable. The Guardian, 8:30 Wednesday on 10.
What would you like to pay for the latest mobile phone? At Strathfield, you can come up with a big fat nothing and love it on any top brand mobile that suits you. With a choice of the 3 biggest digital networks, it's all your choice at Strathfield. Any brand, any network, and an airtime package to suit your lifestyle. How about the Nokia 3310 free on the tailored 33 plan? Plus, a $30 gift voucher to use on any product in our store. And 200 Strathfield credits for your next purchase. Strathfield, the right choice. Call 1311 77.
Cascade Premium Light. Pure premium taste.
Laser SR2. It's seriously hot.
March 25. Joining me in commentary today is Adelaide captain Chris McDermott and Mark Aston.
Thank you, Matty. Good afternoon to you and good afternoon, Chris.
How you doing, Mark?
I'm doing well. What do you make of this? There's been a lot of talk about Adelaide's form last week against Brisbane and the Saints, a big win over Melbourne. I mean, is it still too early, do you believe, to say whether both of these sides are going well or not?
Yeah, it certainly is. I went up to Brisbane last week and saw Adelaide's game against the Lions up there, and I mean, with the Lions without 9 of their key players, it was hard to get a line through Adelaide's form, but you can only win. The thing out of that game is it was very hot and humid. How much has that taken out of the Adelaide Football Club? I know this week they've had a very light training run. A lot of the players really took a few days to come up from it, so it'll be interesting to see how they rebound. St Kilda's form against Melbourne was faultless, really. I mean, they just showed a new style of play, introduced some new players to the footy club. They need to win back-to-back games, though, for some confidence. Expect them, both teams want to win. Both teams have already come out publicly, Gary Ayres especially, and has said we want to make the semi-finals. They are dead set keen, Adelaide, to have a much better start to the season than they have in previous years. They'll be flat-strapped today. Let's have a look at the squads. First, Adelaide, Nathan Bassett, an important player for really them. An important player. Their best negating defender. I mean, he'll get Aaron Hamill, you would think, if Hamill lines up in the goal square and just try and take him out of the game. Very solid in defence, runs up and down the ground, will work his opponent both ways, but he is a very, very good player. And what about Daniel Shell? Just starting to work into it? Yeah, look, he's a young kid. He's got some real talent. Surprising to see Fremantle let him go, knowing that they'd also lost Tony Modra. Adelaide will use him in the goal square. They used him there last week. He kicked 3. He didn't present himself at a lot of marking contests, but he is a long-term prospect for the Adelaide Footy Club. Obviously, as you can see, just needs to develop his upper body a little bit, but he's got something special, and that's important with Adelaide because they've lost Darren Jarman, Vardy, and Robin out of their forward line. Okay, so the Saints in good form too. They had a very impressive win over Melbourne last week. Andrew Thompson, an important player for them, and so is Nathan Burke. Yeah, Nathan Burke, we saw up in the forward lines without his helmet on. Thompson in the midfield. I mean, they've got some key players in that midfield that need to get hold of the footy and need to help Robert Harvey out. I mean, Harvey's been the mainstay there for a number of years. They need to blood a few more players. They've recruited Heath Black from Fremantle, who is a real key player, a good midfielder with some class, so he'll certainly help. And Stewie Lowe, we saw some wonderful highlights of him. He's been a wonderful player, hasn't he? Unbelievable buckets. He's got big hands, that's for sure. And look, he'll present himself up forward as he always does. Now having a roll on ball, a great player, and certainly St Kilda will be looking to him for some leadership as well. Okay, so the ball about to be bounced. Someone else with big hands is Matty Campbell.
Thanks very much, Mark. And it is the beginning of this game between St Kilda and Adelaide. Clark against Lowe. Comes to Goodwin. First possession for him towards the forward 50. Roving well is Burton. Started beautifully against Brisbane last week, and he looks to do likewise today. Ball over the back. That's Maguire. Fraser Gehrig back there. Runner up in the best and fairest last year. Great attack on the ball by Tyson Edwards. Aggressive start by him, Chris.
Just having a look at the St Kilda defence, St Kilda attack. Peter Everett lining up in the goal square on Rhett Biglands, as we said, but Benny Hart picking up Aaron Hamill.
Rob Popplestone and Francis Leach will be on the boundary this afternoon, bringing us up to date on what is happening at ground level, and that's where the ball is at the moment. Goodwin, second possession, and just spraying that kick slightly under a little bit of pressure. Brings up the first score for the afternoon for the Adelaide Crows. A warm afternoon, disappointing crowd, but a wonderful opportunity for these two teams.
Certainly is, and we expect a really fiery opening. First 5 or 10 minutes, really important to establish some momentum.
So Aussie Jones goes short and low to Burke without the helmet. Just taking a bit of time to get used to that. There's Burke's kick out to Peckett, not bad, out toward the half-back flank. Plays on immediately, kicks over the pack, down toward the wing and low. So a couple of key players getting possession. Rewalt caught brilliantly. And the umpire says it was holding the ball. Good stuff by Adelaide. Adelaide at 1 point. The Saints yet to score out wide. Andrew McLeod, one of their stars. Long kick into the right forward pocket, Burton. Now, is Burton 100% right at the moment, Chris?
Groin not overly well, they reckon.
Short pass is okay. Good one inside the 50, 45-degree angle.
What you'll notice about Adelaide, and was very noticeable last week, boys, is that they're going much more direct this year. Last year, chipped the ball around a lot, didn't have a real direct attack on goal last week, and again this week at the start of the play, very much up and down the corridor.
So all of this started when Matty Bode got Rewalt. And Rewalt was caught holding the ball. And a quick transference of play by Adelaide, and now big chance here for Simon Goodwin, best and fairest in 2000, and he's going to line up 45-degree angle from about 45 metres. Left foot kick, certainly got the distance and the accuracy. Good start for Simon Goodwin, good start for Adelaide. They're 1-goal one. The Saints yet to score. We played 2 minutes.
Yeah, great work from Matty Bode in the midfield there. Young Rewald just had full face of goal, but no awareness of the player around him. Bode, a beautiful tackle, dispossessed. And if you want anybody to have the footy in their hands 40 metres out from goals, it's Simon Goodwin. He is a beautiful kick, whether on the run or from a set shot, never misses. And kicking truly on that occasion.
Just come straight back out this way, guys. Just wait for the light and we're away.
So restart of the second quarter. Great start by Simon Goodwin, of the first quarter, I should say. Stewie low, down low. Quickly, Rashudo out of the middle for Adelaide. And getting back and taking a good mark is Fraser Gehrig. Switching quickly to the outer side. Player out there is Brett Voss. Brett Voss now looks for support, gets a running player. They squeeze it up through the middle. That was Maguire, and the contest there, and there's Nathan Burke once again. Playing on again, Peckett. Saints look to play on at all costs, inside the forward 50 for the first time, and taking a mark.
Thanks, Nathan. We were, mate, we were.
Blake. He's drifted down inside the forward 50.
Breeze looks like it's doing a bit, boys.
That's
I mean, the
the
St
line,
Kilda
Mark's
then
run
kicking
standing.
into a slight breeze. It looks like it's probably worth a couple of goals, but certainly struggling to get some distance out of their legs then.
So Adelaide 7, St Kilda looking for their first score here.
Thanks, Nathan. Don't go over that spot, mate.
And he's going to kick from just inside the forward 50. Couple of steps in, gets a fair piece of it, but just looking for a little bit of distance, has just tugged it left, so that's St Kilda's first score. And as we can see, the breeze a little bit strong, facing left of screen, to which the Adelaide Crows are going.
Benny Hart now from the southern end of Football Park. About to put this ball back into play and decides to go very long, well outside the 50, couple up, one of them was Clark. Chance for Lowe, hand pass, just missed the target there, Doughty. In trouble, well done Goodwin, over to Clark and now McLeod. Defensive side of centre, good strong penetrating kick, Rewalt at the back, stretching over the top. Well done by Gehrig, worked it close to the boundary, about 20 metres away. Aussie Jones now even closer to Maguire, who's jammed up against the boundary line, and Tyson Edwards, what a wonderful 2 or 3 years he's had. And he goes in short, and he's got Binky, who's outside of 50, he's about 65 from goal. So another chance for the Crows to go into attack. He's going to go sideways as the man a little closer. Play on. Umpire said it didn't go the 15 metres. That was Rashudo. Quickly getting it over toward that half-forward line. A chance for Binky again. Short passes it, and it's okay. To Bode. Gets around an oncoming Saint, and then bangs it inside 50. They'll contest near the goal square. Low at the back. Got his hand to it. It's still in play. Still in play, and away go the Saints. They're in a bit of trouble here. This is Blake. He concedes. No, he doesn't. Now they concede. That was Rewald in the end, so that was all a bit messy.
It wasn't pretty at all. And a great start again by Matthew Boat. Saw him play a role in the midfield last week against Brisbane boys and was very good today, starting off the game extremely well.
Yes, good pressure, defensive pressure inside their forward 50 by the Crows. Such an important part of the modern game, Chris.
Certainly was.
Keep the ball in the area. Don't let it come out free. Here's Peckett again. And the pressure is still there from the Adelaide Crows. They've forced the turnover. Benke got it free. Around the body. Quick kick again from Goodwin, is it? And he's looking for his second goal. Just missing Simon Goodwin. Already with 4 possessions, already looking dangerous.
And I reckon he thought he kicked that one. We're just
about
to celebrate too, boys, but umpire are judging that it was just a minor score.
1-2 to 1 point. Played 6 minutes, so it's 9-1. Adelaide lead by 8. Aussie Jones in great form. Into the back pocket, just up from the back pocket. That's sensational stuff, isn't it, by Doughty. Michael Doughty just worked his way in front, anticipated and took the mark, and he'll send this, well, he's deep into attack now, but he'll send this possibly through for a goal. It'll be a tough one though. He's on a tight angle. He's about 60 metres out. Now he squares it to about 20 metres. Peckett did well, didn't panic, got it over to Jones. Short pass is okay. This is Wolf, and Wolf working it away for the Saints out toward the wing.
Milne taking the mark under suppression. Rashudo quickly plays on Stephen Milne to Hudson. Very good last week, Max Hudson. Picked up 3 goals in a rare night up forward. Enjoyed himself. Max Hudson brought up his 100 games last year. Only 7 goals in his career, and he picked up 3 last week, so he really would have enjoyed himself. Just squares it up to Moyle. Moyle now gets clear, goes long. Adelaide have the numbers back there. There could have been 2 or 3 take the mark there. But Bickley got it off to McLeod. Breaking free now through the middle. Edwards on a lead. Goes over the back. Jones with him. Good recovery from Edwards. Has a player loose. And that player is the Birdman. Burton inside 50. Goes towards goal and kicks it. A great start for Goodwin and Burton.
What would you like to pay for the latest mobile phone? At Strathfield, you can come up with a big fat nothing and love it on any top brand mobile that suits you. With a choice of the 3 biggest digital networks, it's all your choice at Strathfield. Any brand, any network, and an airtime package to suit your lifestyle. How about the Panasonic GD75 free on the tailored 33 plan? Plus, a $30 gift voucher to use on any product in our store. And 200 Strathfield credits for your next purchase. Strathfield, the right choice. Call 1311 77.
2-3-15. That's Adelaide. The Saints 1 point. So this has been a dream start for the home side. They lead by 14. Great goal by Burton, and Goodwin got the first for Adelaide. There's former captain Bickley working it away. Nice hand pass and then kick inside 50. Opportunity for Cripps. Neat little hand pass over toward Peckett, who's been around for a long, long time. From half back, delivers beautifully to Milne. That's a beautiful kick. Right in front of us. This is the western side of Football Park. Now Milne squares it. Stewie Lowe the target. Clark was late.
2 metres, come back.
You can hear the umpires quite clearly. Aussie Jones now. About 85 from goal. Delivery generally good. That's a beautiful kick. But Spider let him down. He couldn't quite mark. Wolf in trouble. Was he ridden into the ground? No, he wasn't. Umpire will toss it up inside the attacking zone. 2-3 Adelaide. They're 15. The Saints 1 behind.
Was a beautiful kick by Aussie Jones. Spider Everett, probably not his best attempt to mark at ground level. Is probably not an area he excels at, but St Kilda probably need to get Hamill out of the goal square as the leading option.
As you saw on the screen, there are 4 umpires named today. There's only 3 actually taking place at the moment. They'll be rotating some young umpires. Colin Rouston and Stefan Grun will rotate to get their opportunity in this Wizard Home Loans Cup. So not only coaches using this as an opportunity to look at some players, the umpires are doing likewise. Goodwin again off 1 step. Tough contest. Rashudo going through hard. And I think he's pretty fortunate to get a free kick there.
Yeah, I think she was a pretty fair marking contest, and both players' eyes for the footy. But a great effort by Mark Rashudo. Struggled a lot last year, especially in the early part of the season with a nasty rib injury. Came good towards the end, and critical player in the midfield for Adelaide.
Brett Moyle just in the hands of the trainers there from that contact. Is up and away now, so that's good news for Saints.
And there is the kick from Edwards, just missing the target there with Simon Goodwin.
And that's part of Adelaide's game that they're trying to eliminate, and I know they've worked hard on over the pre-season just to stop the little 20-metre chips go long and direct through centre half forward. That's why Ben Rutten's there. That's why Mark Stevens will be there at some stage during the season.
Yeah, special comments from former Crows captain Chris McDermott. Here's Aussie Jones having a good time of it. He's already got a ton of the leather so far in the early stages of this second round Wizard Home Loans Cup match. Over toward Peckett. He's also got a bit of it. Back to Aussie. Another possession, another kick. Down to about 60. Out comes Hudgston. Umpire blows the whistle and says Maxie's going to get a free kick.
Not happy, Chris?
Oh, just a fraction soft.
Yeah, Bassett wasn't happy, was it? He wasn't. He high kick inside 50 and the mark is taken by Voss. I was trying to say that Bassett wasn't happy. And Voss has got it, so Bassett can forget about all of that. 15-1. Let's have another look at this.
Oh, look, I guess they pay him these days, don't they? But she's pretty ordinary. And Voss with the foot in his hands, Mark. That position at Football Park is extremely difficult to kick goals from.
So Brett Voss, who played 19 games last year, here he goes, 15-1 at the moment. High kick by Voss. Umpire goes a long way to his right. He really didn't have to move at all because in the end it was out of bounds on the full. It was a poor effort. 2-3-15 Adelaide. The Saints one behind.
It was a tough kick, wasn't it, Chris?
You've got to get one right eventually. Yep.
Here is Rashudo, the Adelaide skipper, going down the wing towards Burton. Love watching this guy play it. In front of Blake there, took the mark. Playing on quickly. Out in front of Rutten, but Gehrig using the body cleverly. McLeod cleaning up. Off to Dowdy. Dowdy, player on the lead, goes down low, can't hit him. That was Shell. Adelaide need to get someone in there. Peckett. And Peckett's had plenty of the ball early. He's already had 6 possessions and working hard for the Saints, getting back inside his own defensive 50 to get the numbers back there, Justin Peckett.
Probably just the wrong option by Dowdy. I mean, with his leg inside 50, he should have gone at goal. There was an open goal square, and with a bit of confidence, could have kicked the goal.
Stephen Lawrence just getting a bit of preemptive work. Hasn't come on the ground as yet. He started on the bench. And there'll be another ball up. It's about 35, 40 metres out from the St Kilda goal. Adelaide lead by 14 points. Just over 12 minutes in this round 2 match, as I mentioned earlier. A little bit disappointing, the crowd. It is a warm day, but they haven't come to watch their Crows play. Here's Bickley. Edwards, clever handball. Goes back to Dowdy on his left. It's not a bad kick. It's a very good kick, and they've got another one. And that goal by Michael Dowdy, the Crows' third.
With the power of a V6 Ford Escape, there are no boundaries.
Plenty of news from Football Park, and it's all bad for the Saints at the moment. 3-3, 21 Adelaide. The Saints, well, they've only troubled the scorer once. Baker gets it over toward Voss, defensive side of centre, down toward right half forward. Bouncing around, a chance for Lenny Hayes in trouble. The 2 number 7, Smart goes at it. He forces the error. Hart also, opportunity for Hamill, trying to work his way through. Spider Everett likewise. Well done, Wolf. Got it over toward Thompson. Gee, good hip and shoulder there. And Thompson goes again. Good persistence by Thompson. Out of bounds, right forward pocket for the Saints. 3-3 Adelaide. They're 21. The Saints are 1 behind.
And just mucking around with it a bit at the moment, St Kilda, and just don't look like they've got their forward line structure right at the moment.
So we played just on 14 minutes, first quarter. Spider and Clark right over the top. Here's Rashudo, high kick. That's by Smart. Aussie Jones getting underneath it. Good commitment by him. Knock to the front. Hamill. Oh, well done, Clark. That was good. Now they're away. Burton. A couple of free men. One of them's their captain. Who better? Out on the wing, right in front of us. Beautiful kick. Delivery sensational. Rewalt did well. Having to get back and defend. Is Peckett. Now he's in trouble. They're in real trouble. Well done, Rewalt. That second effort by him was outstanding. Shell. Opportunity now, lovely kick, round the corner, Bode, he's kicked a sensational goal. Bode for his first, Adelaide their 4th.
On the boundary, Francis Leach. Well, we'll get back to Francis shortly, but I guess, Chris, as soon as Matthew Bode picked that ball up, you put 2 fingers up. You knew he was going to kick the goal.
He can play beautiful on the left foot, great around goals. He's a real hunter, knows where the foot is, knows how to get hold of it, and does not waste a touch. Look for him to have a big year for Adelaide this year.
Well, he picked up 19 possessions last week, and he's part of a good midfield, and he's joining a pretty quality midfield with McLeod, Rashudo and Goodwin.
You'd like to be part of that.
Yes, and he's picked up his first goal for the evening. Got one last week, so Adelaide really on top here in this first quarter. 26 points is the margin. So Kilda need to find a winner in the midfield to give some supply to their players up forward. Good smother. It was off Baker. And away goes Dowdy with the left hand. Handball to Smart. Clever play from him. The kick going inside the forward 50. Here's McLeod. What can he do? Plenty. Andrew McLeod, runner-up in the Brownlow. Inside towards Rutten. Puts him under a little bit of pressure, though. Peckett. Quick hands from Thompson. Just getting a hand on it, though, was Edwards. Off the ground went McLeod. Saints have the numbers back, and they get it to Lenny Hayes. Courtesy the kick from Voss. So Lenny Hayes right on his defensive 50. Not the same St Kilda outfit that we saw last week, but there's plenty of time left, as Aaron Hamill's probably the man that they need to get into the game.
Your point's right. They look flat, don't they? They don't seem to have the energy that they had last week. They need a spark from one of their senior players.
Yeah, Bode with a goal, Doughty with a goal, Burton with a goal, and Goodwin with a goal as Moyle marks at 85 from goal. He's just forward of the wing, chips it with his left out to Thompson, or Hodgson it is, who's playing up forward this year. Thompson generally in the middle. 4-3-27 Adelaide. The Saints just one behind. Kicks to a very busy end. There's a sensational mark to low with those bucket hands there, Chris.
Magnificent. I mean, you're looking for a senior player to stand up and make an effort and make the difference, and it's Stewie Lowe. Fantastic. I mean, 4 deep at 30 years old and 110 kilo to get that off the ground, Matty. Too good.
Yes, that was a fantastic pack mark, wasn't it?
But I guess, you know, if part of his game may have let him down, and it's been talked about for 10 years or so, is that it is his kicking.
Oh, I think it's really
nail this goal.
I think it's really improved. I mean, perhaps he was guilty at the start, but I think his kickings over the last few years have been excellent.
Well, let's have a look here. Let's have a look here. He's about 48 metres from goal, and he's
set it up.
Well, he has set it up in the right forward pocket. It's gone through Lenny Hayes' hands. That was disappointing. You reckon he meant that, Bone, or not?
I don't know, Matty. I'll leave that one to you.
Oh, I'm still back in next time. That's a tough kick into that, Breeze.
Yeah, now here's a chance, and it's forced through. So a bit of action there just after that little kick in by Lowe. 4-3-27 Adelaide, and St Kilda 2 behind.
He does have the awkward drop though, doesn't he? And when they're windy conditions and swirly conditions like there are today, you can have a bad one like that. You can shank one.
Still plenty of time left in this game, Chris. As Bickley gets it. We head down to the boundary and we say good afternoon to Rob Popplestone.
Look, down here on the boundary, the Crows haven't touched their bench yet. They've got Welsh, Perry, Crowell, Sher, Nelson and Marsh, but in these hot conditions, you'd expect them to start rotating forward.
Thanks, Rob. They didn't use the bench much last week as well, Chris.
Did not use it at all. Most players played at least 3/4 and their bench players only played bit parts.
That's a huge clearing kick from Ben Hart. That's all of 70 metres with the torpedo punt. Everett can't quite mark. Rashudo coming through with some strength, trying to assert himself physically against the Saints, but they're equal to it.
That's what you love about Mark Rashudo. Strong and hard at the ball, strong and hard at the body. Never takes a sidestep.
Jason Blake doing a good job there. Hamill with some strength likewise. To Moyle, back to Peckett. Peckett searching inside the forward 50. Milne just didn't read that. And coming across was Goodwin for another possession. He looks for his partner in crime in Rashudo. Peckett did enough, but the umpire said he did too much, and he infringed on Mark Rashudo, and he'll take the free kick.
25 the difference. Adelaide lead. We've played almost 19 minutes. Having another look at that, and we're back live on the wing. Clark. Everett standing the mark with his outstretched hands. There's Clark. He's just slightly backward of the wing. Good kick for distance. Down toward left half forward. Burton, cleverly done. Here's Bode. Rewalt comes at him. It was a little bit ordinary, and Bode's going to take the free kick outside of 50. Tough angle.
Yeah, tough angle. Just unusual for the Crows to be going that wide. I know they're trying to straighten their game up, and to put a player in that position is probably not the ideal spot. But look for Bode to centre the ball to the top of the square.
Already kicked a goal, Chris. He's a long, long way out. Thought about something short. He's going to go long. No, he's going to kick poorly inside the 50. An opportunity for the Saints through Rewalt. Gets it over toward Cripps. In a bit of trouble. Got around Binky. That's okay. Oh, that's not too good. In fact, that's not bad. and that was Lenny Hayes, and Cripps working it away. That's okay to Hamill, still outside the defensive 50. He was just a bit slow holding the ball. Adelaide back into attack.
Boys, we saw it last night too, didn't we, with the power today with the Crows, the tackling and the pressure from their forward players. Fantastic.
Wonderful pressure put on Hamill there. The tackle came from Benke.
Can you give it a roost?
He is a very good kick of the football, but perhaps the distance too much there, and St Kilda really have the numbers, and they put 3-on-1, and Burton outmarking the taller Rewalt. And I guess, Chris, if you want to be 3-on-1 with a high-marking player, he was the one you want for Adelaide.
Absolutely, and just puts the foot in the back of the player, jumps over the top. Maybe Rewalt got a hand on it, but you've got to pay marks like that. And Brett Burton is the supreme aerialist.
We just saw Jason Blake just peel off the back there. Probably backed Rewalt in as the taller player in front. Thought, I can move off here and start to set something up. But he didn't count on Brett Burton, who goes for his second goal from 30 metres. No problems. He has 2. The Crows have 5, and they have control.
He breaks the tackle, runs to the 50, lines up the big sticks. It's a long bomb. Oh, put down your glasses. It's right through the middle. Oh, what a goal!
Golden draft, thanks.
Clipsal 500 presents 2 big after-race concerts. Saturday, country legends Lee Kernaghan and Becky Cole. Sunday, SAFM presents Human Nature. Book at Bass on 131246.
Okay, let's go down to Francis on the boundary.
Yes, I'm here with Warren Treadway. Warren, the conditions are hot, but also the wind's playing a bit of havoc out there too.
Yeah, it is pretty gusty. Kicking, I suppose, the Crows' end is probably the way it is going. A couple of goals, but it's generally swirling around a bit too, as you've seen with a couple of kicks.
Thank you, Francis. Francis down there with Warren Treadway. Francis Leach with the Port Adelaide superstar, who will join us a little later on in the broadcast. 33-2. Matty Primus also with us, along with Matty Campbell and also Chris McDermott, former Crows captain. 5-3 Adelaide, 33. Bad news for Saints. They're just 2 points. And they're getting a hammering at the moment. They're about to go into attack, well into attack. Everett. Oh, Stewie Lowe, spectacular, gave away a free kick. That was a huge leap.
It was a huge leap, and St Kilda just haven't got their forward line functioning and they're set up quite right. They've got Hamill at centre half forward, appear to be playing low in the goal square and probably just got it around the wrong way.
Bickley playing on to Johnson. Johnson to the outer wing, searching for Goodwin. He has a player in support in Bode. He goes indoors, and look at the run there. There's some experience there. Hart and McLeod. He got it to Rashudo. Rashudo inside the 450. Burton backing back. Spills for Rewalt. He's got a bit of time and space here. He looks up and decides to switch the play to Jones. Jones can run here, try to draw the player to him. Does so now, and sets up the loose man. Maguire can go to the wing. Peckett. 9th disposal now coming up for Justin Peckett as St Kilda try and build something from their defensive half.
Just got nothing up forward, have they? I mean, Peckett's got nothing to kick to.
Adelaide have got back in numbers, and a little bit happening off the ball, but he goes short to Aussie Jones. Jones spots a player in the middle, and that's big Peter Everett. Everett will like to get in his left and goes wide, and with about 30 metres all on his own is Andrew Thompson. Thompson back in board. Maguire has to be quick. Put him under a little bit of pressure, but he was clear. Got round on the left. It's a clever kick in the end. Burke outside his 50. 31 points they trail the Saints. They need a goal before quarter time. Nathan Burke picked up 3 last week. Got a couple in the second quarter. Goes to Stewie Lowe, and why not? Stewie Lowe, good strong lead, experience there, held it up.
Was a great strong lead. I mean, he led from pretty well the right forward pocket over to the left one. Rhett Bigland's in pursuit, and Bigland's a young kid and probably a little bit more athletic than Stewie, but just couldn't keep up. And a great catch and a very important kick now for St Kilda. They haven't troubled the scorer in a goal-kicking sense at this stage, and Stewie's got to kick this one. Matty, you backed him in last time.
I have backed him in.
You're prepared to put your hard end on him this time.
Yes, well, the siren has sounded, so it is quarter time. He's going to kick from about 25 to 30 metres into the teeth of a bit of a breeze there, so a bit of a tricky kick, not as easy as it may look.
Let's watch the drop.
I think given the fact that he's already had a shot, this is his chance to atone here. Stewie Lowe to get the Saints within 25 points right on quarter time, and as you can see, he has collected a fair bit of wood there at Football Park, so unfortunately for him, just the behind. So Grant Thomas will enter the Football Park arena knowing that at Quarter time, Adelaide are leading by 30 points. 5-3, St Kilda, 3 points.
Monday.
It's one small step for man.
1969. America puts the first man on the moon. Find out the story behind this extraordinary event when Sandra Sully presents The Planets, 7:30 Monday.
What would you like to pay for the latest mobile phone? At Strathfield, you can come up with a big fat nothing and love it on any top brand mobile that suits you. With a choice of the 3 biggest digital networks, it's all your choice at Strathfield. Any brand, any network, and an airtime package to suit your lifestyle. How about the Nokia 3310 free on the tailored 33 plan? Plus, a $30 gift voucher to use on any product in our store. And 200 Strathfield credits for your next purchase. Strathfield, the right choice. Call 13 11 77.
We've just left the house.
With our delicious new shaker salads, kids aren't the only ones excited about a trip to McDonald's. There's chicken Caesar salad with tasty chicken, Caesar dressing and crunchy croutons. Or crisp garden salad with your choice of dressing. So now everyone can enjoy a happy meal at McDonald's.
Channel 10, the AFL and AFL Record are giving you the chance to attend one of the first 3 rounds of the Wizard Home Loans Cup for free when you purchase a copy of the AFL Record pre-season edition. Purchase a copy at your local newsagent for your free coupon.
There's a feeling you get when you create a car from the ground up, when the sky's the limit. There's a feeling you get after 9 years of teamwork, when it's all beginning to come together. And there's a feeling you'll get when we share with you the chance to bring a dream to life.
You could win the ultimate Ferrari F1 experience for doing absolutely nothing. The chance to enjoy a trip for 2 to the International Grand Prix of your choice, with exclusive Ferrari hospitality and behind-the-scenes Ferrari pit tour. Plus, 25,000 Vodafone customers will share in over $500,000 in other prizes. All you need to do is be with Vodafone.
Is Pepsi Max in serious jeopardy? This generally harmless male will defend his domain with basic animal instinct. A fierce battle rages. Yet, in the end, to the victor go the spoils.
Hey man, how you feeling?
Not bad. Until next time, live life to the max.
3-day reserved grandstand seats at the Clipsal 500 Adelaide are going fast, priced from just $112.50. So book it fast now on 131246.
Tuesday.
I'd say get a room, but I think we're in it.
Jake's caught the love bug.
Did you guys have sex in here?
You just got that?
That's disgusting.
Hey, don't complain. Your diner finally has a satisfied customer.
All new Becca, 7:30 Tuesday.
Quarter time here at Football Park, and the home team in control. 5-3-33, leading the Saints with just the 3 points there, with Stewie Lowe kicking her behind right on quarter time. Burton has 2, Matthew Bode, Doughty and Goodwin 1 each. They certainly are in control. Down on the ground, it is Francis Leach.
Yes, thanks, Matthew. Yeah, the Saints struggling to take a grab or two, and 2 blokes who've taken plenty of marks at Football Park. He might be able to tell us what it's like to play out here on a day like this. We've got Matthew Primus and Warren Treadway with us. And Warren, we saw the Crows players there putting on the ice vest. Do you use them very often when you're out here?
Yeah, we do, especially in these conditions. It's very hot, but lucky for both teams, there is a bit of a breeze out here, and it will be going to the end. St Kilda will be kicking to this quarter, so they'll have to watch out for that, and obviously replacing their fluids in such a hot day too.
And Matty, playing in the centre and playing on the ball, it must be tough on a day like today. Do you have to concentrate more on rotating that?
Yeah, I think the coach, especially during the summer games, they try and rotate their midfielders a fair bit and get them on the bench to have a bit of a break.
Well, it's going to be hotter in the second quarter. Let's hope that the Saints can get into the game and make a contest of it.
Yes, thank you very much, Francis Leach there with the captain and vice-captain of the Port Power. Grant Thomas would be concerned, not so much with the heat, but more so with the stats.
Yes, certainly. Let's have a look at these, Chris. Anything in particular there that is significant at this early stage?
Well, Mark, I think the most significant thing is the marks. I mean, St Kilda getting the footy and just chipping it around, don't have an option up forward, so they tend to be holding on to the footy, playing that short possession style of game. And then when they do turn the footy over, it's easy for the Crows to score on the rebound. That is the real killer stat at this stage.
Let's return down to the ground now with Francis Leach, and he's with assistant coach Matthew Rendell.
Matty, very tough first quarter. The boys looked like they were struggling a little bit in the heat.
Yeah, very flat. Oh, no, it's not that hot. They're very flat early. I think we started to get a little bit of the ball in the second half of the quarter, but just we started poorly. Hopefully the wind is worth 2 or 3. Hopefully we can be close at half time.
Thanks for talking to us on Fox Footy, Matthew.
Thanks, Francis. Matthew Rendell has moved over from Port Adelaide to work with Grant Thomas. And I guess he mentioned the breeze, Chris. You played here quite a bit in your football at Adelaide. What is the breeze worth?
Well, I reckon it's only worth a couple. You can always score against the breeze here at Footy Park. It doesn't look overly significant, maybe a couple, but as he said, St Kilda need to pick it back this quarter. They've got to be within 2 or 3 at half-time.
Well, they need to get a good start. And Everett has gone into the centre circle there for the Saints, up against Clark. They win it at ground level through Baker towards the forward 50. Good positioning by Smart. He got around the smaller Milne. Ball goes to ground. Here's Burke. Clever player Burke, and somehow he forced it forward when he was tackled by 2 Crows. But they have the numbers, and they force it towards the boundary. And just to relieve some pressure there, that player Doughty, who has kicked a goal in the first quarter.
Everett into ruck is a significant move. Adelaide, the #1 clearer of the footy from set plays, so it's a significant move for St Kilda to get some ball out the centre square.
33-3, Adelaide in front by 30 points, so they're doing the job at the moment. Early stages, second quarter. Bickley, as usual, going in at 100 mile an hour. Pretty busy, lots of Saints tackling, and a couple of players on the deck. 33-3, and just getting up and getting himself organised. Looks like Doughty. 33-3, so still 30 the difference. We played a minute of the second quarter. There's Rashudo, grabbed by Thompson. High kick, Stewie Lowe and Biglands. Well done, Biglands. Got his hand to it. Would have liked to have conceded, but it is over the line in the end. Left forward pocket. Good work by the big man.
Yeah, it was great work from Rhett Biglands. Body on body against Stewie Lowe. You're not going to win that duel too many times, but the young kid held his ground well and took the ball out of bounds. Great work.
It's a big year for Biglands to where his football's going this season, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he was the #1 choice of ruckman towards the end of last year, so a significant year, absolutely.
Battling with Matthew Clark for that spot as Smart switches to the outer side, out in front of Bode. And Heath Black now on the ground for St Kilda, his first touch in, I guess, the red, white and black, and he's not happy because he's been pinged for deliberate. And Heath Black, as you can see, lost about 4 kilos with a virus last week. He pulled out of the game last week, so he's had the flu. And he was runner-up best and fairest at Fremantle last year, so good to see him playing again. Here's Kane Johnson. Good pick-up for the Saints, Black. Johnson out in front of Shell, and Maguire just got lost there, Chris. I mean, that ball was in the air for quite a while, and Maguire got lost and perhaps shouldn't have.
Yeah, look, a young kid like that, you're going to get lost occasionally, but a good lead by Shell. Presented himself pretty well. He didn't do that last week, but he's a great choice of an option up forward for the Crows. I'm with Benke, with Burton, with Rutten. They've got some marking options there now. They've had to recover the loss of a Jarman, a Robin and a Vardy from last year. A lot of expectation on this kid's shoulders. He's an opportunist, not a great mark overhead, but can do the spectacular. So a great lead, but now he needs to kick the goal.
And surprisingly, Scott Welsh, who got 4 goals against Brisbane last week, starting on the bench again.
Stagger.
Yes, he was very good last week. But Daniel Shell picked up 3 goals last week. So he kicks from just inside the 50. We've seen that's a tough pocket to kick goals from already today. He's given it a fairly good run. He's just to the left-hand side of the goalpost, so another behind.
Your point on Welsh is really interesting because they do have some options up forward. They look like they want to play Shell at full forward, Benke out of a pocket, Burton off a flank, and Rutten or Stevens at centre-half forward. Welsh appears at this stage to be the odd man out.
Okay, so 5-4-34. That's Adelaide. The Saints are 3 behinds. This is Heath Black taking a bit of time. Short to Thompson, Andrew Thompson. Captain last year when the 3 key players were out all injured. Early stages, second quarter. Hope you're enjoying our coverage. Second round Wizard Cup action. The Saints against Adelaide, and Clark takes an easy mark. As easy as you like. No pressure at all, Chris.
No, a good catch by Matty Clark.
65 from goal, lays it up. They'll contest about 25 metres. Burton went through his hands. Chris could certainly see him coming. I think everyone saw him coming. Well done, Peckett. Now they're in a bit of trouble. Thompson kicks into the opposite back pocket. Not bad to Rewalt. Now I reckon Rewalt's gone on to Burton now. Doughty putting pressure on him to Peckett. A lot of possessions in a small area, that's for sure. Heath Black, Rewalt off his knees. So that was all pretty messy, pretty untidy, pretty ugly. 5-4, 34 Adelaide. The Saints 3 behind. We played 4 minutes second quarter.
Yeah, when you're a young emerging team, you just need to get some distance with your disposals and not hold on to the footy too much, not over-possess, and St Kilda are guilty of that at the moment.
Boundary throw in. Rutten there with Everett. Everett winning that. McLeod was probably reading that was going to happen, was in the right spot. They work it well, they get it to Doughty, heads to the top of the square, disciplined kick, pack forming. They had Burton there, why not? Here's Johnson trying to run through and crumb, and he's well wrapped up. Good tackle by Blake, stopping his progress towards goal. And it'll be a ball up just outside the goal square. They lead by 31 points. They've been in control of this match from the start. Kane Johnson, named Sugar Johnson.
Not Sugar Cane.
No. Thanks, Chris.
I think it was Sugar Cane, actually.
Of course it was.
Of course it was.
Comments by Chris McDermott, former captain of the Adelaide Crows.
And Mark Haston, who never captained the club.
Yes, and here's the boundary, the ball up again. Everett, as McDermott still laughs in the background. McLeod, just clever, just awareness to go back to Rashudo.
He'll be a good test of the wind, boys. I mean, you'd normally back Rashudo from the top of the 50. But a difficult kick into that breeze. Let's see how strong it is.
7th kick coming up, Matty, for Mark Rashudo.
Well, we know he loves to kick goals, and he can kick a long, long way. And as Chris mentioned, he will be kicking into the breeze. Rewalt's gone back off the mark. So you want to be careful how close he gets to that 50-metre line.
You reckon Brett Burton will be lining up here?
He's coming from 10 rows in front of the pack. He's going to go backwards as Rashudo gets plenty of distance. And just not quite. They're missing to the left that side, aren't they, Chris?
Yeah, the breeze seems to be going slightly across the ground, and but great carry then from Rashudo. Kicked the ball 55 metres into the breeze, then a beautiful kick. Watch now for the Crows to zone. Last year, their kicking off, their work against the kickoffs was much maligned. This year, back to the zone.
35 plays 3, just over 6 minutes in this second quarter.
And 32 the difference. Here's Peckett to himself, and then outside 50 looking for Rewalt. He's got problems, though, because he's got 3 around him. One of them was Ben Hart, who's one of the best in the business, one of the best defenders, an All-Australian. Good work in the end, though, by Hamill, who just got his hand to it. It ricocheted over the line. So 6.5 minutes, second quarter. Crows big winners last week. Well, weren't so much big winners, but they would have been happy to win in Brisbane by a couple of points. And the Saints over Melbourne. Tyson Edwards, good kick, beautiful kick, wonderful lead, and Shell's marked on his chest. He's 45 metres from goal, slight angle.
Yeah, certainly a great lead by Shell, but is there a better kick on left or right than Tyson Edwards in the competition? Goes either way, and that stage just to the top of the 50, beautiful on the left foot, out in front of Shell, taking the mark comfortably.
Well, Tyson Edwards, beautiful delivery, hasn't missed a game, Chris, in 2 seasons.
No,
Tyson.
he's very resilient.
And this man, Daniel Shell, is pretty well smack bang in front from about 45. That is a beautiful kick. It's gun barrel straight, and he gets his first, and the Crows get their 6th.
Oh, what a sensational first half, and I'll tell you what, it's going to get even better in the second. You wouldn't miss it for $1 million. This has got to be the game of the season. It's been just unbelievable.
Golden draft, thanks.
We got too much sunshine. Tell me what you hear. If it's the same as me, it's the golden age.
Good possession, first goal for Daniel Shell, and they really are in control of this match at the moment, the Crows. The Saints need to get something happening. They're down by 38 points. Everett laying it off. Advantage played, you heard the umpire there as Thompson goes towards Lowe. Lowe just a little bit lackadaisical there, probably with one hand. He was clever in the end to force it back off the ground towards the goal square, but rushed through by Nigel Smart and Rob Popplestone down on the boundary.
Matty, 8.5 minutes into this second quarter, the Adelaide Crows still not using their interchange. Very rare in today's AFL footy, I'd say.
Thank you, Rob. Rob Popplestone riding the boundary for us with Francis Leach. And this is Simon Goodwin from the northern end of Football Park. Let's go with a long ground covering kick. That's about 60 metres, and Everett takes the mark. He judged it beautifully. 3 deep. 6-5 to 4 behinds. 6-5 to 4 behind. So Adelaide thrashing them, and that kick, well, he was looking for Burke, but Hart has taken the mark, and Adelaide will work this out of defence again.
And going up, they've got plenty of options. Hart's a good one now. He's in the defensive 50, draws the player, gets out to Bassett. Bassett on his natural left foot. Gehrig there chasing and just forcing Rutten out the way. A bit of experience there from Fraser. Gehrig did well. Had a good season last year when he went back for St Kilda. Here's Everett. Runs to 70 metres out, short pass. Everett looking for Hamill. Hamill with courage. The spoil came from Biglan's. Hart read it well. The Crows now clear, and they've got space. Good one. Getting possessions at will for the Crows. On the lead is Benke. Benke inside of Blake. Goes back to Bickley. They set it up with the old-fashioned 1-2-3. There's Bickley. Good tackle by Jones. Forced the error. Saints get back in numbers. Gehrig now to clear. Poor kick. McLeod wrapped up but trying to force it forward. Blake, quick hands to Jones. Likewise to Black. Now the Saints away towards Milne on the centre wing. He's got Xavier Clark, who's come on off the bench in the middle. Exciting player from the Northern Territory. Up towards Burke. Burke arriving late with the punch was Bassett. Probably a little bit fortunate, Burke, but he'll take it. Crowd not happy, but Nathan Burke. And you want to move it quickly because Adelaide are streaming back to get some numbers. Does he have enough on that? He does. And finds Jason Blake once again, who's already had a shot for goal at the other end in the first quarter. Blake. And, you know, it's the old-fashioned cliche. It's a badly needed goal, Chris.
I knew you were going to drop it, but you're right.
It really is. Just from the get some momentum happening. They've Everett starting to win the knock in the centre, but they must convert these set shots at goal.
Okay, take your point.
Blake, who has only kicked 6 goals in his 25 senior games. Drop punt looks good. It's very good. And a much-needed goal for the Saints by Jason Blake, their first for the afternoon.
Imagine music without Madonna, U2, Michael Jackson and Britney Spears. Boring, huh? Friday, thank them for the music when 10 presents this year's Grammys. See Craig David,
Alicia Keys,
Janet Jackson,
Train,
Nelly Furtado,
Linkin Park,
Outkast,
and the girls do Moulin Rouge.
Want more? There's live performances from U2, NSYNC, Destiny's Child and more. The Grammy Awards premieres Friday 8:30 on 10.
6-5, 41 Adelaide, St Kilda, 1-4-10. Blake gets his first and the Saints first. Hallelujah. Out of the middle, Thompson, just a bit awkward. Xavier Clark, who Chris just mentioned a moment ago. Go down to Francis in just a moment. He's crashing through as Rashudo. Good opportunity to go down to Francis on the boundary. Francis.
Yes, I'm here with Warren Treadway. And Warren, we saw the value of decisive delivery of the football moments ago when the Saints scored a goal, but we haven't seen a lot of that from them today.
Yeah, it's been pretty tough. The conditions aren't the perfect, but after all, it is only February too, so they'll get better, and they're looking good this quarter.
Thank you, Francis. Francis Leach with Warren Treadway on the boundary with Rob Popplestone as well. Here's Peckett chasing the footy. Not a lot of concern. There wasn't a lot of pressure around him, but he wouldn't have wanted to have looked up. Would have seen a pretty horrible scoreboard that reads 6-5 to 1 goal 4. Ball in the middle, still being knocked around. Chance for Hamill, caught by Rashudo. And the umpire says it was a throw. Mark Rashudo to take the free kick defensive side of centre.
Bit rugged, that one.
Very unlucky, Aaron Hamill, I thought there. It was a good tackle, but was paid for a throw.
Had to mark it, crumb it, get hold of it again, as we see, and then paid for a chuck. Oh, you've got to be kidding.
No, I don't know if that was a throw. I think the ball was spilled as he was tackled as he was going to ground, but that is irrelevant now because the ball is over the boundary line. Ozzie Jones and McLeod just now to set up at about 70 metres round from the goal. That is the Adelaide Crows goal. 6-5 playing 1-4. Chad Davis looking on the bench there. And as Rob Popplestone mentioned, Adelaide using it sparingly this afternoon in 30-degree heat here at Football Park. Stenglein, haven't seen a lot of him. Touch, gets to Johnson. Loose player forward, Edwards. A little bit of hesitation, but he gets around on the right boot for the snap. And he gets it. Saints want a point for touch, but it's a goal to Edwards. Well, I thought he may have gone direct towards goal there, Tyson Edwards, but he doesn't mind snapping him around the body, does he, Chris? It's his first for the afternoon.
No, he doesn't. He does enjoy a bit of Hollywooding, and at that stage we see Johnson handball forward. Tyson Edwards had the opportunity to handball over the top to Shell in the goal square, but just a bit of ducking, bit of weaving, and over his shoulder, whether a set shot or a snap shot, Tyson Edwards is very good around goals.
All right, fellas, you up? Yeah. Back out to 37 points. This lead to Adelaide. 14 minutes. Second quarter. Wizard Home Loan Cup. Second round action. Adelaide over Brisbane last week. The Saints thrashing Melbourne, but at the moment they're getting a football lesson. Kick toward Bode territory. Andrew McLeod. Brilliant hand skills. Well done. Doughty inside 50. Good football all round by Adelaide. It's all falling into place for them. And Shell will get up and kick from 30 metres pretty well, smack bang in front, 47-10.
And once again, we're seeing the value of a dominant midfield. I mean, the Crows midfield, and they've got a number of riches there with McLeod, with Goodwin, with Johnson, with Rashudo. You know, they can throw a Bickley in there if they need to. They've got some great numbers to rotate through the midfield. Always dominant, either by hand or by foot. And Shell again, for the third time this quarter, presenting himself as a forward line target. He just needs to kick truly.
Yes, I'd like to see him kick this, that's for sure, and I'm sure he'd be a pleased young man as well. It is through the middle. So Shell gets another for Adelaide.
Gee, boys, there are some similarities to last night's game, aren't there? A dominant midfield, some forward line targets, and an opposition that can't find a way forward, can't find a winner, and have got to scrape and fight for every possession. There, Shell, into the teeth of a breeze. Wasn't the most attractive kick you've ever seen in your life, but got the desired result.
Yes, Daniel Shell with his second goal. And things are looking very dangerous for St Kilda. 43 points down. They won last week by 68 points. All that good work is going down the drain because they can still, regardless win, lose or draw, they need to give themselves still an opportunity to make it through to the semi-finals.
Credibility and respect they need.
Here's Peckett, who has had plenty of the ball this afternoon, as has McLeod with a clever kick before he gained possession. Play on was the call. Clark tapping it back. Peckett traps it, then goes for a torpedo in towards the low. Good punch from the Crows. Here's Wolf at ground level. Bumped off the ball well by Goodwin. But Hayes dancing. Gets it to Hamill. Good hands from Hamill. Out to Wolf for a second chance. Around the body goes Daniel Wolf. He stretches it round. It looks like a good kick. It's a goal.
What would you like to pay for the latest mobile phone? At Strathfield, you can come up with a big fat nothing and love it on any top brand mobile that suits you. With a choice of the 3 biggest digital networks, it's all your choice at Strathfield. Any brand, any network, and an airtime package to suit your lifestyle. How about the Panasonic GD75 free on the tailored 33 plan? Plus, a $30 gift voucher to use on any product in our store. And 200 Strathfield credits for your next purchase. Strathfield, the right choice. Call 1311 77.
37 points, here's the lead. 37 points, the lead to Adelaide. And we've played around about 16 minutes of the second quarter. There's Everett getting his hand to it. Baker, not under a lot of pressure, able to turn around and then send it down toward Wolf territory, who kicked the last goal for St Kilda. There's only been 2 of them. Inside the 50, well done Bickley, good anticipation. Out to the half-back flank. Doughty, very clever. He's only young and relatively inexperienced, but that was good stuff. Smart down ground, good mark taken by Garrick. A defensive mark that needed to be taken because Adelaide was coming. Baker over toward Hamill, and Hamill goes wide. And now Peckett down toward right half forward. This is Milne, inside 50, looking for Burke. Gets into position, knocked away. Well done by Bickley. Good stuff. Burke goes in again hard. 100 mile an hour. That's how he works. Smart, defensive. Good hand pass to Hart. Smart and Hart working it out. They've done that a few times over the last 10, 12 years. And now Goodwin to work it away from half back.
Goodwin, he switches it into Clark. Running players now for the Crows. McLeod, Bickley and Rashudo all getting plenty of the ball at the moment. Bode. Here's McLeod in the middle with some space. And beautiful delivery from McLeod. You cannot afford to give Andrew McLeod that much space.
No, you can't. And once again, nothing at ground level in St Kilda's forward lines. We saw the ball go there, a contest in the air, and there were 3 or 4 Crows at ground level just picking up the ball, swooping on it.
Their first interchange for the afternoon for the Adelaide Crows. You see Mark Rashudo putting on the ice vest. Ben Nelson has come on the ground. There's the delivery from McLeod to the lead of Benke, who is a good kick of the football.
He certainly is a thumping kick of the footy. He'll have no trouble with the distance here as Kane Johnson comes off and is replaced by Matty Shew.
So the bench being used. Benke, who kicked 2 goals in the first round last week, just pushing it off to the right. The ball will stay in play. St Kilda in front. That was Maguire. Here's Moyle at ground level. Chris mentioned that's where they've got to improve their game as Brett Burton just drags Moyle off over the boundary line with the ball and to be a boundary throw-in.
Conditions obviously taking their toll. The Crows using their interchange bench far more than they did last week, giving their midfielders a rest on the bench.
Okay, so Andrew Crow, about to come on for Adelaide. Not sure who's about to go off, but we'll find out soon enough as the Saints through Aussie Jones out wide to Milne. He's playing a bit more in the midfield. He's getting a bit fitter. He scrambles it. He didn't have anyone to kick to. It's bouncing around. Burke first to arrive with Bickley over the line. And the umpire says toss it in. 8-5 to 2-4. It's 53-16.
Just on the interchange bench with Adelaide, Chris, it almost appears now that change. It's almost if it was premeditated. Now we're going to rotate some players.
Yeah, it looks like it, doesn't it? And they can afford to. I mean, with a 6 or 7 goal buffer, they can certainly afford to take some risks now.
Yes, that lead is 37 points as Stephen Lawrence comes on for Xavier Clark for the Saints. And here is Justin Peckett, who has had 14 possessions. He's about to get number 15 because he's got a free kick. Peckett going inside 50 now, the Saints. Hamill, chance for Milne. He's got it. He's a clever player. He's a goal kicker. He's 30 metres out from the Saints goal. And Stephen Milne, a chance to get his first for the afternoon. They kicked 2 goals in this quarter as we see the kick from Hamill getting to Stephen Milne, who just peeled off the back.
And one of the first times we've seen Hamill get the ball inside 50 or around the 50-metre mark. Benny Hart's done a great job on him.
So Milne, who didn't kick a goal in the first round, but he's kicked his first for the afternoon. So the Saints get their third, and they're desperately trying to stay in touch.
Adelaide lead, 21 minutes. Second quarter, half-time approaching. Not far now, and then a break for both of these sides. And both coaches, no doubt, will have a chat to their charges as Doughty goes inside 50. They'd be 2 different chats, you'd think. And the mark is taken by a man who has kicked a lot of goals. He kicked 5 goals. I'm talking about Benke. He kicked 5 goals 3 weeks ago in an inter-club match. Kicked some goals last week, and he'd love to kick some goals here this afternoon.
And again, Mark, a very tough kick from this pocket. We've got to go a long way back to Tony Hall kicking the goal in a State of Origin match to see the last bloke who kicked the goal from deep in this pocket. But Brian Benke is a very good kick. He gives it a thump.
You've gone a long way back there.
86, I think I went back to.
Good Lord.
I wasn't born then. So here's Benke from about 30 metres. Gee, that was tough. Have a look. Let's wait. And he's kicked it! Sensational goal by Brian Benke.
I didn't say he wouldn't kick it. And there's no need to go back to 86 ever again, because next week we'll say we have to go all the way back to Brian Benke's goal in round 2 of the Wizard Home Loans Cup.
I'll tell you what, it did swing away. We're just having another look at that delivery by Doughty. It was perfect to Benke. It did swing away, Chris, didn't it? But very late. Have a look at this.
It certainly did, and it's a difficult kick from that pocket, especially with the breeze coming that way, but a great kick by Benke. He's been in very, very good form in the pre-season this year, and again, putting his hand up to play a key role for Adelaide in the forward lines this year.
Benke has his first. The Crows have 9. He's had 8 possessions for 1 goal, which is probably above his normal ratio. He's basically a low possession, good return on goal player. But Crows by 37 points. Stulo on the ruck for the Saints. Edwards reads it the best towards the 50. He almost fell in the hands of the Adelaide player there. Here's Ben Nelson wrapped up in a half Nelson by Stephen Lawrence, who loves the aggression and loves the physical side of the game.
And the interesting thing there was a loose footy on the ground. There were 3 St Kilda players around, and it was the Adelaide player that got his hands on the ball first. St Kilda really need some players at ground level. Robert Harvey not playing today, but they need some other options at ground level.
Gehrig wins the punch for St Kilda. Going back is Doughty. He's get a few possessions as well. Here's Nelson now. Low spearing kick in towards Shell. It was a good kick, a little bit too much on it, and Maguire knew it was going over the boundary line for a throw-in as Welsh comes on for his first run for the afternoon. Doughty having a spell. A midfielder that now seems to be saying, well, you've done your bit, you can have a spell. Welsh, 4 goals last week, was excellent against Brisbane at the Gabba. Over the top came Hudson, who's now back in defence, or is he just run down to try and get involved? And here's Davis, who's on the ground. Chad Davis. Not much option up forward. Again, they're forced to chip it short. Again, that link man is Justin Peckett. 37 points. We've played just over 24 minutes in this second quarter. And Peckett again, the St Kilda, a little bit stop-start at the moment. Goes towards the wing, needs some tall timber there. Hamill was clever, got it down to Del Santo, who's a new player on the ground. He goes forward and Stenglein reads it the better of the two over Milne.
Yeah, good mark by Stenglein and then swings it out to a 1-on-2 situation. That's against Adelaide, but it doesn't matter when it's this man, and that's Andrew McLeod. Hand pass to Welsh, who kicked 22 goals last year. Storming through the wing and then an awkward one inside 50. Burton almost re-walt with him. Well, that looked maybe a little high. I think there's a few here that might agree, but it doesn't matter. Play continues. Now the Saints through Lawrence, down toward left half forward. Chance for Milne, went straight through him. Stenglein, defensive hand pass. He's got to get a free kick for that. Stewie Lowe, the offender. No doubt. Absolutely no doubt, but that was good. Stewie Lowe went over and said sorry about that. So there is room for that in Australian rules. Let's have another look at this, Chris. In fact, we did.
There is room, but not much.
It's just a bit late there. 59-22. Hart. He was off.
Great player, this kid, Tyson Stenglein. Had a fantastic year, was the Crows' best team man last year, building a real reputation on a half-back flank or as a tagger.
He's at half-back, just on the defensive 50. To Bode, who's been relatively lively, had 5 kicks. This will be his 6th. Here he goes now from half-back. Beautiful delivery. Gee, the skills have been pretty good by the Crows. This is Rutten. Got a man running past. It's Welsh from the middle. Well inside 50, downfield, looking for Shell. He's got him. Now he's got a couple to contend with. Close to the boundary. Opportunity now for Scher, who's come on. Blake's going to work it away with his teammate. There's the siren. It's half-time here at Footy Park in this Wizard home loan second round cup match between Adelaide and the Saints. Adelaide 9-5-59. The Saints 3-4-22.
Well, they led by 30 points at quarter time. They now lead by 37. And the goal kickers for Adelaide. Shell has 2. Burton has 2 singles to Edwards, Bode, Doughty, Benke and Goodwin. And for the Saints, they picked up 3 goals in that second quarter. Blake, Daniel Wolfe got 1 and Stephen Milne got 1. They're trying to hang in there, the Saints, but Adelaide in control by 37.
Are we there yet?
We've just left the house.
Are we there yet?
With our delicious new shaker salads, kids aren't the only ones excited about a trip to McDonald's. There's chicken Caesar salad with tasty chicken, Caesar dressing and crunchy croutons. Or crisp garden salad with your choice of dressing. So now everyone can enjoy a happy meal at McDonald's.
Kid Rock is cocky. The new album featuring the hit single Forever. Cocky, the new album, out now. Forever.
Must be stuck in third.
would you like to pay for the latest mobile phone? At Strathfield, you can come up with a big fat nothing and love it on any top brand mobile that suits you. With a choice of the 3 biggest digital networks, it's all your choice at Strathfield. Any brand, any network, and an airtime package to suit your lifestyle. How about the Panasonic GD75 free on the tailored 33 plan? Plus, a $30 gift voucher to use on any product in our store. And 200 Strathfield credits for your next purchase. Strathfield, the right choice. Call 1311 77.
We got too much sunshine. Tell me what you hear. If it's the same as me, it's the golden age.
10 News with Tracy Spicer.
Good evening. The Governor-General is back home tonight as new damning claims come to light. But Peter Hollingworth continues to fight mounting calls for his resignation.
As pressure continued to build on Dr Hollingworth, he turned to the place where he finds most comfort. The Governor-General spending his final hours in New Zealand in church. Back in Australia, calls are growing stronger for him to resign or be sacked. Even senior government figures are unhappy.
Certainly the language that he is using doesn't seem to, in a way, reflect contemporary standards, and he's got to make quite clear and unambiguous that that he also totally abhors child abuse.
As the Governor-General touched down in Canberra, more claims that he's covered up child sex abuse. A Brisbane church committee revealed it warned Dr Hollingworth 5 years ago that one of its priests, Canon Ross Macaulay, should be banned from one-to-one contact with male congregation members. This followed an investigation of sex abuse allegations to which Canon Macaulay allegedly admitted. Instead, he was offered a position as a parish priest.
The evidence was given to the Archbishop. It was given clearly and professionally.
This evening, the Governor-General issued a statement saying Dr Hollingworth had investigated the matter and concluded that inappropriate sexual behaviour couldn't be corroborated, and there were insufficient grounds to remove Macaulay. It says the Governor-General believed the allegations essentially rose from a breakdown between the men relating to a business venture. Public sentiment is running strongly against the Governor-General, another opinion poll today saying he should go. Within government, the view is increasingly that John Howard can't sack Dr Hollingworth, but members believe the Governor-General has to realise he has no option other than to hand in his vice-regal position. Pressure is intensifying for that to happen before the Queen arrives on Wednesday. Leonie Mellor, 10 News.
A young sailor who risked her life to save a refugee child claims only the truth was thrown overboard in the boat people scandal. The federal government is today admitting it should have acted differently.
When she was photographed rescuing a young boy and his mother, able seaman Laura Whittle had no idea her bravery was about to be turned into a political sham. Now her family's voiced her outrage and government claims the children had been thrown overboard.
Now that we know the full detail, the photos were taken and forwarded as an illustration of their heroic efforts.
Instead, the federal government used it as proof children were thrown into the water in a bid to blackmail Australia into giving them refuge. But as hundreds of other photos released after the election showed, these people were fleeing their sinking boat. 19-year-old Laura jumped in to save some who drifted dangerously close to HMAS Adelaide. The entire crew of HMAS Adelaide, including Laura, has been banned from talking to the media about what really happened. But her family sum up the government's handling of the issue as disgusting. In the words of her grandfather Basil, "I know what happened, and if I met John Howard, I would rub his nose in the mud." According to friends and family in her hometown of Devonport, Tasmania, the young sailor was extremely distressed. The story was not corrected.
And with the benefit of hindsight, we would have acted differently.
The opposition says the sailors should not be gagged.
It's certainly not acceptable. People have to be able to speak the truth.
It's not yet known if they'll be called to give evidence before the Senate inquiry. Alison Blanksby, 10 News.
South Australian police have charged 2 teenagers over a large quantity of explosives seized from their home. 25 kilos of explosive pellets and various items of safety clothing were found in an Adelaide house late yesterday. Called ANFO, the explosives are a powerful blend of ammonium nitrate and fuel. Police believe they were stolen from a mining or quarry site. 2 men in their late teens have been charged with unlawful possession, but authorities are still trying to locate the original owner so the items can be returned. Some of the world's most powerful business leaders are heading to Adelaide this week for a conference which will help mould the future of technology around the globe. The World IT Congress is an opportunity for Australia to sell its capabilities to the industry's top decision makers.
More than 1,600 delegates from 55 countries will attend the Congress. Following the September 11 attacks, security and IT terrorism will be a major focus. And in a rapidly changing world, e-commerce is no longer cutting edge.
Now it's more m-commerce, that is the mobile commerce, and the way that no longer do you have to have a cord going anywhere will give people that freedom to do business a different way.
Delegates will be able to use handheld computers to check email and access the internet through a world-leading wireless network based around key event facilities.
It's an enormous opportunity for Australia to put itself on show, to demonstrate its capabilities and its creativity to these people who don't really know what we've got to offer.
The Congress begins Wednesday with a keynote address from former American President Bill Clinton. Alan Murrell, 10 News.
The man who gave life to such childhood favourites as Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck has died. Animator Chuck Jones was 89.
Mr. Chuck Jones. There it is, Chuck.
Chuck Jones' work won him the admiration of the entertainment industry. He created some of Warner Brothers' most famous characters, the Roadrunner and Pepe Le Pew, and gave life to Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck. Dubbed the father of contemporary animation, he drew more than 300 films and won 3 Oscars in his 60-year career. Jones directed his first animated feature at the age of 25 and was on the Warner Brothers team that created the now legendary Looney Tunes and Merry Melodies cartoons. He started out drawing pencil portraits and sold them on the street for $1 each. Jones died at his home with his wife and daughter by his side. A private service will be held. His grandson saying the cartoon legend was never rich, but he was paid enough to do what he loved. A man who saw the funny side of everything. In Los Angeles, Pam Mackay, 10 News.
And that's the news for now. Thanks for joining us. Next up, Sports Tonight with Matthew White. Good night.
Hi.
I'm the electrician.
Sure, come in. It's just through the hall to the left.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
More and more businesses are turning to Golden Chef's Fresh Lunch Express. Right now, take part in the Golden Chef Fresh Lunch Express $1.5 million giveaway. Everyone's a winner. Phone 1300 881 588 for the bright yellow mobile canteen to come to your business.
Clipsal 500 presents 2 big after-race concerts. Saturday, country legends Lee Kernaghan and Becky Cole. Sunday, SAFM presents Human Nature. Book at Bass on 131246.
Greater power, massive screen, awesome graphics, all player capability. This is life advanced. Game Boy Advance.
There's a car with a powerful 1.8-litre, 100-kilowatt VVTi engine that just says, move on over. A car with precision handling that you can trust. And that car is...
A Corolla?
The all-new Toyota Corolla.
It isn't.
It is.
It isn't.
It is.
No.
Yes.
Yes, hot and fast. And again.
It's the eye of the tiger, it's the thrill of the fight, rising to the challenge of our rival. And the no survivor stops his prey in the night, and he's watching us all with the eye of the tiger.
Congratulations, Dougie.
Yeah, it was a good job. You know, she's a very nice lady. Gave me a cup of tea. But I'm gonna have to come back tomorrow though. It's a pretty big job.
Hello, I'm Matthew White with a halftime Sports Tonight update. It was Championship Sunday at the ANZ Ladies Masters on the Gold Coast today, and it turned out to be a shootout between two of the game's biggest stars.
Flag actually is looking very
18 holes from history, Curry Webb started with a bang.
It's a wonderful start.
Her overnight 10-under lead shared with Germany's Elizabeth Esterl, who had luck on her side. Lurking behind the pair, world number one, Annika Sorenstam.
my goodness.
Webb momentarily snaring the top spot with consecutive birdies, but a horror three-putt on the fourth reined her back. It was at the turn where the world number three asserted her superiority, taking a two-shot lead.
Safely in, 12 under par, two-shot lead, 9 holes to go to be the first player, male or female, to win 5 times the same event.
Annika Sorenstam with an up-and-down front nine started to hit her straps, off target on the fairways but precise on the greens. The weight of history was starting to haunt Webb, a bogey on 13 surrendering the outright lead. Enough was enough. On 17, Curry flexed her champion muscle, locking herself in for an 18th hole dogfight with Annika Sorenstam.
Here we go, yes! And then there was 2.
Both players making par on 18, it came down to a playoff hole. 4, in fact. The pressure of completing the best tournament streak in history too much for Webb. Sorenstam winning with the par and starting the new golf year as she finished the last. On top.
One of the greatest innings in Test history overnight, Adam Gilchrist with the quickest double century in modern-day cricket. The explosive left-hander reaching 200 in just 212 balls, and in the process combining with Damien Martin to give Australia a commanding position against South Africa in the first Test.
Day 2 and Australia resuming at 5 for 331. Adam Gilchrist, the juggernaut.
Over the bowler's head and into the boundary. Lovely shot. Delicately played.
Gilchrist spearheading Australia's attack and posting his 5th Test century.
And he's played that away on the onside. The timing is good enough for the ball to reach the boundary. It's been a magnificent innings.
Damien Martin also finding the boundary with ease and also amassing his 5th Test ton.
That's pulled away in tremendous fashion. 100 for Martin.
Mark Boucher blowing a stumping chance, and Gilchrist made the most of the life, passing his highest Test score and completely carting the bowling attack, losing 2 balls out of the ground in the process and nearly earning himself 405 ounces of gold.
Don't worry about this one. Is it going to get the gold sign?
That one left the bat and I was sure it was going to thump into the sign, but I waited and waited and there was no noise, so unfortunately it went over the top.
Jacques Hallis finishing Martin for 133, a 317-run partnership, the second highest 6-wicket stand in Test history, and the records kept coming. Adam Gilchrist 200 runs off just 212 balls.
Short, pulled away, and that's the 200. What an innings, and what a way to get it all the way to the boundary.
The innings declared at 7 for 652. Gilchrist ending on 204 not out. Gary Kirsten gone for 1.
Off the edge, gone.
Shane Warne then had Herschel Gibbs out LBW, and when Brett Lee carved up Callis, the Proteas 3 for 55. A ruthless Australian bowling attack set for the killer blow.
At stumps on day 2, the Proteas 4 for 111, but have a look at the Australian figures. Martin and Hayden with centuries, and of course a day to remember for Adam Gilchrist. Round 2 of the Wizard Home Loans Cup continued this afternoon with 2 games. The Kangaroos too strong for a Tony Lockett-less Sydney Swans. The final margin there 21 points. Sav Rocker best with 5 goals for the Roos. Some concern though for skipper Wayne Carey, who left the field in the third quarter with a bruised hip. Now the club maintains that he will be right for next week. The final score 104-83. Last night, Port Adelaide belted the Dockers, the Power firming as favourites to go back-to-back with the pre-season Cups, home by 11 goals. The Dockers' night was soured even further, with key playmaker Jeff Farmer on report. Today, in the cricket, New South Wales has made it back-to-back one-day victories. They've defeated Queensland in the final. Queensland were chasing 205 to win. They were all out for 185. New South Wales win by 19 runs. Haddon with 45 for the Blues. Love with 53 for the Bulls. But New South Wales win the title yet again. And that is the latest from 10 News and Sports Tonight. I'm Matthew White. See you next time.
Because life is too short to waste time, LG is designing an internet refrigerator that could even do the shopping for you. An air conditioner you can turn on with just a phone call. The LG Digital Home Network. It's closer than you think. LG. Life's good.
Hot and fast, hot and fast. And again.
It's the eye of the tiger, it's the thrill of the fight, rising to the challenge of our rival. And the look, no survivor stops its pain.
Right now, Victory are cutting the prices on their entire range of curtains and blinds by up to 50%.
Victory, victory, curtains and blinds. 131399.
Channel 10, the AFL and AFL Record are giving you the chance to attend one of the first 3 rounds of the Wizard Home Loans Cup for free when you purchase a copy of the AFL Record pre-season edition. Purchase a copy at your local newsagent for your free coupon.
Schwarzkopf Country Colours. Rich, ravishing colours with incredible shine. Nourished with beeswax and wheat protein, touched by the magic of light. Country Colours from Schwarzkopf. Professional hair care for you.
Rockers' fantastic sale catalogue.
Yeah, bargains everywhere. At Rockers, there are huge savings in every area.
5 litres of Mobil Super XHP with bonus, bargain $13.95. Save $10 on Centropay seat covers, just $14.95 a pair. Check these super sound deals. Save a massive $50 on a Philips CD receiver, $199. VDO CD receiver reduced to only $239.
They've done it again. Rockers really is your one-stop auto parts and accessory shop.
Check the catalogue out now.
Margin. But just waiting for the start of play. As I mentioned earlier on, Colin Ralston will be starting procedures. The umpires are rotating 4 umpires today, and Colin getting his first run as is Stefan Grun getting his first run in an AFL game.
Yes, St Kilda's forward line, Aaron Hamill starting at centre-half forward again. Stewie Lowe out of the goal square with Nathan Burke, so no significant changes in St Kilda's forward line.
So Adelaide in control. They look to set themselves up to get through to the semi-finals with their second win in a row, but still a half of football to go, and the Saints looking to push it forward first in this second half. Hamill coming out, Stenglein almost a clean possession. Milne cleverly puts it out in front of Hayes. Hayes, good pick up on the run, tackled well, but the ball spills free. It should suit the Crows. Bickley back to Smart. Smart off to Biglands. Biglands at full back, and away they swing it hard. Now Ben Hart had read what was going on there and just took off to the outer side. Just such a clever player is Ben Hart, and kicks it up towards Perry. Gehrig right with him. Jones with Edwards. Edwards has got to beat 2. He does so, forces it forward, but St Kilda have some numbers back. Andrew Thompson getting up and under it, up to the contest. Milne used the body on Hart. It falls for Hayes again. Second possession of the quarter. This time he goes back to Lawrence. Lawrence spots a player at the corner of his eye, and well, Jason Cripps, he showed courage to go back, and the free kick, he's been cleaned up. You're not happy with the free kick, Chris?
You don't get free kicks for courage. I mean, a great effort by the kid, committed his body beautifully, but there's no rule for no free kick for courage.
Francis Leach on the boundary.
It's a report for charging, and he got 50 metres.
Oh, yeah. Well, you heard that, Chris, and Francis obviously was listening into the report. Reported for charging.
You've got to be kidding. I mean, this is part of our game that is fair and square. You cannot take the hard physical clashes out of our game.
But he lifted both feet off the ground.
Oh, come off it, though. That is just legitimate. If you, hey, look, great courage from the St Kilda player to put your body on the line, but you put your body on the line, you pay the price.
Mark Aston, we saw Paul Kelly, and we saw David Neitz reported for charging similar offences.
Doesn't make it right.
Well, Chris McDermott not happy, but
look, Justin Cripps, I mean, if there's any player probably you could pull out, you could say it's him because he's had a terrible run with injuries, but dearie me.
Well, he shows great courage, and he shows a goal for St Kilda. So they get the first goal of the second half. Controversial, according to my co-commentator Chris McDermott, but importantly, they're back within 31 points.
Yes, look, Mark Bickley, he certainly wouldn't be happy with that. I mean, he's the most fair player you'll ever see going around. And okay, maybe he took his feet off the ground, but is there a rule to say you can't do that? Cripps running back with the flight of the play, eyes only for the footy. I would call that a pretty fair body contest.
Well, in the context of what a charge is construed as, which is always up for debate, I'd say that he's been reported for charging in similar offences that we've seen already this season.
Yes, well, Matthew, you would know.
Here's Francis Leach on the boundary.
Yeah, Max Hutchinson back in familiar territory. He's in the goal square at full back after spending the first half up forward.
Okay, 9-5-59. We'll get to Francis in just a moment. The Saints are 4-4-28. And they're about to go into attack again. Long kick by the Saints. They're making a bit of a charge here, but Bickley, who is keen to redeem himself, although Chris McDermott says he didn't do anything wrong. The Adelaide side now out of trouble. This is Johnson, received from Smart, downfield. Chance for them to knock it on. That was well done by Burton. Got it across to his teammate, and that's his captain, Rashudo. Back to Burton over the line, right in front of us, western side. It's 9-5-59. The Saints are 4-4-28.
And St Kilda finally getting some footy away from the centre square too, boys. 2 balls in a row.
Here is Clark to do battle, body on body with Everett. Everett with the height advantage, but read well by Goodwin. McLeod with pace. Blows Thompson away, runs to the 50-metre line, and let's go with a magnificent goal.
CommSec understands people on the move can't always stay up to date with their share prices. That's why we've introduced SMS alerts. So no matter where you are or what time it is, you can stay in touch with the share market. commsec.com.au.
The Clipsal 500 introduces special ticket packages for families and a dedicated area with a Clipsal Vision Super Screen. Book at Bass on 131246.
10-5-65 Adelaide. The Saints are 4-4-28. Andrew McLeod at his absolute best. Sensational stuff by a sensational player. 10-5 to 4-4. So we're all ready to go again. We've played 4.5 minutes of the third quarter. Adelaide really blowing the Saints away. They did, there's an umpire saying he's sorry. I can't believe I heard that. Now he's about to bounce the ball, and he does. It's a beautiful bounce too, right in the middle of Football Park, just where it should be to start proceedings. Here's Thompson trying to work it away through what was a very busy area. A couple of bodies colliding. In they go. Burke, one of them. Bickley standing over about 3. He's been reported, if you've just joined us. There's Burke getting up without the helmet. Big crash of bodies there. That was Burke and Doughty.
He's courageous, Burke, isn't he? Eyes only for the footy.
Good stuff by Doughty too, Chris. 10-5-4-4. We've played 5 minutes. And there's Clark getting it down. Rashudo and Goodwin trying to work it away. And Burke there again. Pretty untidy. And the umpire to toss it up about 60 metres from the Saints goal. 10-5 to 4-4.
Throw back that way. Throwing up again.
So as the umpires, we can hear instructions that he's going to back out of the contest. And it comes to ground. Rashudo, direct. Perhaps maybe through that. Good quick hands from Black. Over to Stephen Lawrence there. Out in front of Nathan Burke. Does well. And just lets himself down with the kick as he popped it out in the full. So, kick in to be taken. Hart wants to take it quickly. Or Smart does. Gets it away now to Bassett. Bassett to Rashudo. And trying to set up the loose man. The Crows, they go to the outer side wing. Good kick. Clever kick. Put it to the advantage of Tyson Stenglein. As Chris mentioned earlier, best team man at the Crows, and that is an award that is much heralded. Good mark by Gehrig, and plays on quickly again to Lawrence. St Kilda move forward. Lawrence with a long forward handball to Hamill. He's got a couple of options, and he uses the second one, which was Blake, and then comes around the back for another possession. Out wide. A little bit indirect there was Hamill, but Thompson was equal to it. Got around Goodwin and then squares it back up to Blake. So in a roundabout way, they've got to where they had it before. So Jason Blake, as Adelaide get lots of numbers towards the defensive 50, he switches play. Lawrence would like to play on. He does so now to Baker. Baker looks up, sees a wall of Crows in front of him. And Everett chips in because the kicker dropped short. He gets around. Hamill comes in to lend support, but getting through also with Stenglein. Everett off the ground does well. Hamill, can he get boot to ball? No, he can get hands to it. And he got it to Lenny Hayes, and Hayes has the snap, but just hooks it to the left. He had Burke in the goal square. He was on his own. He's letting him know, but it's a minor score for the Saints.
Yes, and it's a sad indictment when your big man, a man of 6'10", Peter Everett's got to be the man getting the ball off the deck.
10-5 to 4-5. We've played 7.5 minutes. That's out of bounds in the left forward pocket for the Saints. They'll drive it back in.
Stay there now, Nige.
Stay there now, Nige. Here's the instruction from the umpire. It's Nigel Smart on the mark. Really creep forward a bit as Milne goes inside 50, looking for and not finding Lowe. Chance now for Everett. Gets it to Jones. That's not too bad at all. Black inside the 50, awkward one. It's rolling through for a behind to the right-hand side. Awkward kick and nothing doing as far as a major is concerned. Adelaide 10-5, the Saints 4-6. They're 30. We've played almost 8 minutes, third quarter.
Well, maybe Big Spider should set himself up as a small forward. That's the second crumb in a row he's got.
Well, he is magnificent at ground level for a man of his height, isn't he? There's a mistake. Chance for the Saints now. Comes to Baker off their error. Oh, good punch. Low, he thought he was in there, Big Stewie. Here's Lenny Hayes. Tunnel balls it out to Thompson. The crowd want to throw. Burke wants a goal. So does the Saints. Here's a chance now for Milne. Can't get free. Another possession deep inside their forward 50. They need to finish it off. Cripps runs into trouble. Adelaide have now got some numbers back, and they want to force a ball up, and they have. And unfortunately for some Kilda fans around the country, they couldn't get a shot on goal.
Good footy, though. Good footy. Great desperate footy.
Yeah, Cripps, that was unusual. He should have ran into the pack, didn't he, really? Knew there was some dangerous individuals around the area and then actually ran into it. Anyway, 10-5, 4-6. That was pretty lively as far as the Saints were concerned. We're back live again. Now they've still got a chance. Here's Aussie Jones loading up and kicks a wonderful goal. Excellent goal by Aussie Jones. And do you reckon they didn't need that, the Saints?
I'm going to show you how great I am. Let me tell you something. I'm going to float like a butterfly and sting like a bee. George can't hit what his hands can't see. Now you see me, now you don't. He think he will, but I know he won't. I don't prove to the world that I'm still the fastest, the prettiest, the most classic, the most scientific, the greatest of all time. I am the greatest.
Aussie Jones is first. The Saints have 5. And again, they sneak it under that 30-point margin. It's back to 29. Edwards forcing it out of the centre. Burton there for the Crows. The punch came from the Saints. Rashudo in the spot. Gets it off to Johnson. Johnson hooks it around. Doesn't get good purchase on the ball, and it skews up the side and goes out of bounds for a boundary throw-in. Kane Johnson.
Get the feeling that if St Kilda can get the next goal, maybe 2, that they're right back in this game, coming home with a slight breeze. Adelaide with a tough week last week up in Brisbane. They may run out of gas. Maybe there's still an opportunity for St Kilda to win this game.
Well, their endeavour in this third quarter has been good. They've had the ball inside their forward 50 quite a bit. And now they need to defend as Everett, who is winning the knocks, got it down towards Jones. McLeod, what can he do here? Tries to just force it back. Just comes off the boot of a Saints defender there, and it ends up with Max Hutchton. So a little bit fortunate, but they're away now through Rewalt to the outer side. And that's Peckett. 17 possessions in the first half to Justin Peckett. Players streaming down the ground. Rewalt wants it on the wing, but Peckett goes back in board because he's got two players. One of them is Max Hutchton. Now more direct towards centre-half forward. Hamill is target, but it falls short. And Tyson Stenglein chips in with the mark.
Yes, takes a safe mark on his chest and then goes out wide. So they're back in again here. Long kick. Rutten, 10-5 to 5-6. Down toward right half forward. Now inside. They're attacking 50. That's Baker, number 29, and then he goes in and does some nice tying up. Stephen Baker, very good tagger. He did some good work then as he tied that Crows player up. 10-5, 65 Adelaide. The Saints 5-6, 36, 11 minutes. Third quarter. Busy area. Edwards. Still with Edwards. Look like Aussie Jones, it is. He's there as well. And Ian Perry is number 22 for Adelaide. And nothing doing. Bit untidy. 10-5, 5-6.
Saw Stewie Lowe just having a rest, Chris?
Yeah, I think the game's crying out for him to present himself at centre-half forward. I mean, St Kilda now getting a lot of the footy. They need a Stewie Lowe, a Peter Everett, definitely a tall at centre-half forward.
Dowdy to Bickley. Bickley round the body. Not a bad shot on goal, but unfortunately not hooking round enough. Just the minor score. So Adelaide have the margin back to 30 points, which was their lead in the first quarter. And Stewie just getting a bit of a stretch there. And a little bit of a grimace, but I'm sure deep down he's really enjoying that stretch. Blake going to be caught. Too high from Burton. Got clear. Backed himself a little bit too long there. Took on one, took on the second, and Benke gets it.
But exactly nothing at centre-half forward. He had Nathan Burt to kick to. For God's sake, put somebody there.
Well, Chris McDermott not happy with the structure of St Kilda. Bickley. Good one, running hard. From 55, unloads. He can get the distance. Has he got the accuracy? Almost. It's the behind once again. And Goodwin, who kicked the first goal of the afternoon as we see that. Just Blake getting through the tackle. Advantage was called. And as you said, nothing to kick to. So second-guessed himself and he was gone.
Great work, Brian Benke.
Saints out of trouble. Really good stretch there. It was taken by Lenny Hayes. Backward of centre half back, pumps the hand pass out wide. Thompson from half back, good penetration. Rashudo arrives late. Oh, well done, Moyle. Then shrugs the tackle, got it over toward his teammate, who's caught, and that's Blake. And he's in all sorts of trouble. And Cripps is there as well. Moyle over the pack, inside 50. Burke, chance for him. Wretched bounce though. Outstorms Mill. Well done by Smart. The Saints in again. Still, they fight. They're about 60 metres from goal. That was Maguire. Well done, Bassett. No panic from Bassett. He's very experienced, and talk about experience here. Andrew McLeod. Dowdy was in the middle of those two. He was the man involved with the hand pass, and that kick to Burton. Absolutely pinpoint, Chris.
Beautiful foot skills, Andrew McLeod on the run.
This is Burton. And we know that he loves playing footy. He loves kicking goals and taking big marks. 67-36. Adelaide well in front. But the Saints have been mounting some charge, but Adelaide with a chance here to get another goal. They have 10.
And Matty Clark comes off for a well-earned rest, and Benny Marsh on for his first run for the day.
So Brett Burton had some injuries in 2001. Loves taking huge marks. Kicked 2 goals in the first quarter, and that's off to the right. It's a behind. 10-8, 68 Adelaide. The Saints 5-6, 36. We played 40 minutes third quarter.
So an interesting time in this third quarter now. The game is pretty even as far as the scoring's going, Chris, and it's a question of whether Adelaide can pick it up or can the Saints just edge that little bit closer before three-quarter time to give themselves an option. Aussie second-guessing himself there, wasn't he? But Black has it. And, well done, Aussie Jones. He ran on. He realised that he created an error and then ran hard to help out. Good work.
Did it well.
Adelaide have again got numbers back. They're zoning off here. They're just corralling the Saints players, saying we'll give you a little bit of space. But a couple of them got free. One was Jason Cripps. Rewalt's done some running for him. They switch to the play. Rewalt now goes short. Peckett. He had Peckett or Gehrig. Peckett made a meal of it. But then his second effort was good to get it to Hutchton. Rewalt now running. Little chip kick in towards Burke. Goodwin was equal to that. Not sure about that effort from Bassett.
It was a bit casual, wasn't it?
But again, boys, Nathan Burke, your go-to man at centre-half forward.
Well,
I mean, it's got to be obvious, doesn't it?
We've got Peter Everett, basically on the back play at the minute.
Backing out this way, boys.
And well, we've
Go
got
back in the middle.
Aaron Hamill, Stewie Lowe off. There's Everett. Aaron Hamill standing inside the forward 50 with plenty of space if they can get it there quickly for a one-on-one contest. Burke trying to now. Gets it up high. There's Hamill just backing back into it. Hart right with him. Milne came out, led Smart to the ball. Smart, with his experience, just relieving the pressure.
And at least that's better, though. Just get it into the danger zone. Get it into the forward 50 as close as you can to goals and give your opportunists like a Milne or a Hamill the opportunity one-on-one.
Crows lead by 32 points, warm conditions. The vests help, no doubt about that. There's the throw in. Here's Milne, left foot and goals. So that was a good goal by Milne. The Saints needed that again.
That makes Viking the chocolate bar with horns.
St Kilda mounting a challenge here at Football Park, and they've got to within 26 points, so that's the closest they've been since the first quarter. Milne has 2. The Saints have 6. Need to get the next one, and that is a brilliant tap from Everett over the back to Thompson. Burke going back, but just getting there. Bickley read it well. Off to Smart. The veterans for Adelaide out to now a young player in Doughty. Doughty up forward. And numbers back there for Saints. Aussie Jones getting back to help out. Left foot kick towards the wing. And St Kilda have 2 on 3 here. Well done. They got it to Thompson. It came from Moyle. Back to Heath Black. Starting to get involved with the Saints now, Heath. Started on the bench. 68 to 42. Next goal for St Kilda would be very handy. They'd find themselves within 3 goals. And going home with the breeze, Chris.
And just starting to get some footy off the deck and in the midfield.
Garrick, Blake, those two combining in defence. Shocking hand pass. Goodwin over the top to Perry. Back it goes. Burton, got to get rid of it. Peckett coming at him. Burton long and strong. There's no one back there, and it will drift over the line, right forward pocket. Bit of a waste there, Chris. 10-8 to 6-6.
Oh, Mark, your turnovers kill you. I mean, if you can reduce the amount of errors you make in a game of footy, you'll win more games than you lose. And that stage, St Kilda just trying to manufacture a play instead of getting the ball on quickly and getting it inside 50.
Yeah, but Burton let him off the hook, didn't he?
He did.
Yeah, they could have made them pay. Boundary throw in. Milne coming off for a spell for St Kilda. Here's McLeod. So dangerous. Anytime he gets hold of the ball, and it's out of bounds. So Thompson just did enough to force McLeod over for the boundary throw-in. Mark Bickley, leading possession winner on the ground with 20 possessions.
Yeah,
he's got a new lease of life.
Well, he has, because he's been freed up, hasn't he? They all pick up the McLeods and the Rashudos. Bickley gets a free run on the footy and knocks up getting the ball these days.
You heard the call from the umpire there, don't hold. And it's very hard to hold McLeod. Doughty.
Knock it on, knock it on, knock it on!
And there's the instructions once again. You're hearing the umpires through this Wizard Home Loans Cup. Their instructions to the players. And Moyle now breaking free for the Saints. Hamill on the lead. Couldn't quite get there. Hart's been right with him all afternoon. Everett at ground level. Untidy handball missed Moyle. He'd be disappointed, Big Peter. And unfortunately, it really has worked against them because they've got the ball coming off the foot. As we'll see the replay here. There's the first error. And nothing worse, Chris, than following up with an unlucky
second
error.
one.
But a second one gives the ball back. Here's Jones breaking. Like to see him run. And he spots a couple of players. Dangerous. Lawrence has great courage, though, and he's away. No one up forward. They've got to work it. Everett now one-on-one. Everett's kick is poor. Drops short. Chad Davis was the player he was looking for. Bickley right with him. Davis did well to keep it in front of him. Now the task is to keep it in play. Back. Looking for a player in support. Hamill. He does well. There's Marsh for the Crows. Taps it back to Biglands and the Crows should clear.
Yes, and they will. Biglands goes to the far side. That's on the eastern side. Crowd quickly over to Bickley. That one worth a kick, that hand pass. Went about 30 metres to Kane Johnson. 68-42. The Saints are coming, but Adelaide going into attack down ground. Half volley. Beautifully done by Burton. That was sensational stuff. He made it look easy. And then Kane Johnson bangs it inside 50, bounces off the chest of that forward, and that was Shell. And eventually the Saints clear it, getting very close to the boundary line. It's out of bounds. Let's head down to the boundary line. Here's Francis Leach.
Yeah, Jason Blake's come off for the Saints. He's had a couple of bad moments. You saw him get tackled twice and caught with the ball and a bad handball. I think they've just set him down to have a rest because he dropped his head for a moment there, and he'll have a deep breath and maybe get back out there later.
Thanks, Francis. Francis Leach on the boundary with Rob Popplestone this afternoon. Here's Dowdy, and just waiting off the ball there was Goodwin. Almost as if he knew it was going towards the forward line. Good punch there from Hutchin. He's been good since he's gone back there. Edwards crumbing. Chris thinks it's a goal. They've hit the post a few times, haven't they?
They have. Check the distance between those goals. But again, the Crows at ground level, Tyson Edwards, fantastic. Normally makes a meal of those, or makes the most of those at that stage, making a meal of it.
Like yourself.
27 points is the margin. Adelaide in front. Fraser Garrick, good kick to Peckett. He's getting a heck of a lot of the ball. That was his 13th kick. He looked away, actually. Did he kick it or hand pass it, Chris?
He kicked.
Good. Okay, that was his 13th. Now he's got it again. Here's 14 kicks for Peckett. Long one, inside 50. His dangerous danger signs. Maguire, hand pass just a little loose, allows Adelaide in again. Burke, was he pushed in the back? Umpire didn't seem to think so. Hand pass by Black, put his teammate under pressure. Dowdy was in. So too is Smart. Now the whistle goes, and it is
Smart free kick.
Looks like an Adelaide free kick, and Smart will relieve the pressure, and there was plenty of it.
Opportunities are almost opening up, though, for the Saints.
Yeah, the door's ajar, and their skills just letting them down on the, well, an inopportune moment.
Young Matt Maguire's gone forward as we see the infringement from Heath Black just catching.
It's clumsy.
Smart around the neck. Crows will switch it, but Everett's got some height. Goodwin forcing it forward. Discipline play, great work by Thompson. He smothered the Marsh handball, then gets it back towards Moyle. Working hard again, Thompson. Second effort to young Matt Maguire. Oh, show some skill there, but forgot to kick it. And holding the ball, that was a bit harsh. And away go the Crows through McLeod. Player on his own on the wing. He was getting some attention from a trainer. He's looked up and thought, I've got the ball coming. How easy is this? Away goes Kane Johnson. Breaking now through the middle. Striding forward, but getting a hand on it, Fraser Gary. Good defensive play. They should get the turnover here. And Stevie Lawrence gets it back to Aussie Jones. And Aussie Jones pops it into the crowd. A poor kick from Aussie.
Not his best piece of work, but he's had a pretty reasonable day today, Aussie.
So, third quarter, deep into the third quarter. Aussie Jones with a goal.
Letting them off the hook, they aren't they, the Saints? They've got it their moment.
Plenty of possessions by Aussie Jones, 17 in total. This is Kane Johnson. 85, 90 from goal. Gee, that's a good kick. He's kicked for distance there. Crowell at the back. Opportunity for Stengline. Over to Crowell. Right foot kick off the side of the boot. No goal there. It's into the forward pocket, or the back pocket now for the Saints. And they clear it. Rewalt from Aussie Jones. So back pocket to back pocket. Another opportunity wasted there, Chris. You're there, Chris.
You certainly was, mate. Yes, I was here. I was waiting for you to carry on.
You were just disappointed, weren't you? As the Saints work it out. Maguire on the western wing.
He's been okay.
Yeah, hasn't been too bad.
He's just 17 years old, Matt Maguire.
Sets it up. That's a pretty good kick. Davis overran it. Now Burke with a chance. He's got a couple to contend with, though, and one of them's Smart. Now Burke gets some assistance from Davis. Close to the line, and it is out of bounds. So the umpire coming across, he'll toss it in, and if they all look up, they'll see that Adelaide on the scoreboard lead 10-9, the Saints 6-6.
And on that scoreboard it'll show that they've played just over 24 minutes in this third quarter. They led by 39 points at half-time, so the Saints have got a couple of goals back, and Hamill's looking to make it 3. And he has. That's a terrific kick by Aaron Hamill.
By comparing hundreds of loans from over 20 leading lenders, your mortgage choice broker takes the legwork out of looking for a home loan. We can even come to you 7 days a week. So if you don't have time to find the right home loan, free call Mortgage Choice on 1-800-646-789 or visit our website.
So the lead now has been whittled right down to 21 points. Adelaide 10-9, 69, the Saints 7-6, 48. So the Saints have had a lot of the play. Cripps over toward Aussie Jones, who's one of their key playmakers. Down toward left half forward, good solid strong mark taken by Stenglein. Just looked at his man and said, just let me get on with it. I took that fair and square. Crow, now that's out of bounds on the full. And that's unfortunate because Aussie Jones now is going to put the Saints well and truly back into attack. Instead he goes sideways, but it's still okay. Lawrence, 85 from goal, inside 50. They just need a mark. Their delivery hasn't been good. And as a result of that, the Crows are able to work it away. McLeod, Rashudo involved. And he sends it inside 50, looking for Burton with Rewalt. Burton around the corner, has a shot and kicks a wonderful goal. Sensational stuff from Burton. That was fantastic.
The rebound, Chris.
I mean, it was
Yeah,
fantastic play, but the turnovers, we've said it time and time again, it kills you. St Kilda again breaking down at centre half forward. The kick forward, it went short. It was the wrong option, but that comes about when you don't have tall timber up forward. The resultant rebounding goal and a great snap over his shoulder by Brett Burton.
Terrific goal from Burton, as we see there.
And maybe the game breaker.
Well, it could be. I mean, Stephen Lawrence bursting through, poor kick. All the Adelaide Crows, all sensing it, all running hard, going through the middle, finished off with a brilliant finish from Brett Burton. His third goal for the afternoon. He is the leading goal scorer on the ground, and just a bit more breathing space for the Crows, and they're back out to 27 points. And the Saints will want to get one back, but they're going to run out of time. So you mentioned it might be the game breaker, Chris. Certainly the timing of it was perfect for Adelaide.
It certainly was, and St Kilda now go to three-quarter time with their heads down, Adelaide with their heads up. One passage of play makes such a big difference. You never know what footy is the most important footy in a game. That one from Stephen Lawrence certainly was.
There's still time for the Saints, but Adelaide lead 11-9-75 to St Kilda 7-6-48.
Imagine music without Madonna, U2, Michael Jackson and Britney Spears. Boring, huh? Friday, thank them for the music when 10 presents this year's Grammys. See Craig David,
Alicia Keys,
Janet Jackson,
Train,
Nelly Furtado,
Linkin Park,
Outkast,
and the girls do Moulin Rouge.
Want more? There's live performances from U2, NSYNC, Destiny's Child and more. The Grammy Awards premieres Friday 8:30 on 10.
Must be stuck in third.
We got too much sunshine. Tell me what you hear. If it's the same as me, it's the golden age.
Now, this week at Designer, not everything's half price.
100% cotton. Some were $69.95, now just $29.95. $29.95, $29.95, $29.95. All sizes, singles, doubles, queens, kings, just $29.95. 100% cotton. Some were $69.95, now just $29.95. $29.95, $29.95, $29.95, $29.95.
Not everything's half price.
What would you like to pay for the latest mobile phone? At Strathfield, you can come up with a big fat nothing and love it on any top brand mobile that suits you. With a choice of the 3 biggest digital networks, it's all your choice at Strathfield. Any brand, any network, and an airtime package to suit your lifestyle. How about the Panasonic GD75 free on the tailored 33 plan? Plus, a $30 gift voucher to use on any product in our store. And 200 Strathfield credits for your next purchase. Strathfield, the right choice. Call 1311 77.
At SGIC, we assess each home we insure individually, so you won't pay more than you should.
CD stereo, air conditioning, electric windows, dual airbags.
New Suzuki Liana, $19,990. It's the next big thing in style.
It's you. It's me. It's Suzuki.
Round Wizard Cup, and St Kilda kicking 4 goals in that quarter, edging a bit closer to Adelaide, but Adelaide still lead by 27 points. Brett Burton with 3, the leading goal kicker on the ground. Daniel Shell 2, singles to Edwards, Bode and Doughty. Milne has 2 for St Kilda, and singles McLeod, Benke and Goodwin there. And Daniel Wolfe also one of the single goal kickers for St Kilda.
And Chris, that was a better quarter by the Saints, wasn't it?
It certainly was. Andrew McLeod again showing his class in the midfield, though. Adelaide's midfield was shoot over 20-odd touches. Bickley, McLeod, been fantastic. McLeod on the run. Not great last year, but this year fantastic.
Yeah, so the Saints, well, they get one here. Aussie Jones just loading up from about 30 metres.
And Heath Black, from recruited from Fremantle, an important player for them at ground level. Great handball out.
And here's another one, and this fella is live wire, isn't he?
Yeah, young Stephen Milne around the goals. Left foot, right foot, a real opportunist goal.
There's another one, and their delivery inside the 50 wasn't good. It didn't need to be good there because it was just a beautiful kick.
But Mark Rasciuto, his delivery absolutely outstanding. A great effort there by Burton. Couldn't take the mark, but recovered beautifully, and that was the result of a turnover by St Kilda. Stevie Lawrence charging through the midfield, missing his target, and the resultant rebound, a goal to Adelaide. You know, the most significant thing, I think, among the stats are the marks. St Kilda getting a lot of the footy. They've had more touches than Adelaide, a lot more marks using that short chipping game that's breaking down. They've won a lot of the footy, so you can't say they haven't had it in their hands and haven't had the opportunity to win the game. Centre breaks, 10-9, St Kilda evening up that quarter. Peter Everett, I think, with 25 hit-outs, and Jason Cripps, an integral part in the midfield in that quarter.
OK, let's head down to Francis Leach.
Yes, I'm here with Warren Treadway, and Matty Primus again. And Warren, the skills dropped off that quarter, and that's obviously an indication of fatigue.
Yeah, it is. You look at both sides, both using ice vests, both using interchange pretty much. So you'll see a few players coming on and off just to give a rest and hopefully get some run out of this last quarter.
And Matty, he used the phrase active recovery to me before. I thought he sounded like a doctor. Warren, what does that actually mean?
Yeah, look, I think it's just when the blokes come on the boundary line, just keep running and jogging. So, you know, not just sitting down, let the lactic acid build up.
Rob Popplestone's with Peter Curran, Adelaide's assistant coach.
Well, I certainly am. I'm here with Crows assistant Peter Curran. Pete, the pressure's on a little bit in this last quarter.
Yeah, look, we've got to win the quarter. They've really nutted us around the stoppages there, and Everett's been getting his hand on the ball, so we've just got to tighten up and get inside and start winning some ball out of those stoppages.
Yeah, it should be a test both on and off the bench, guys.
Thanks, Rob. Rob there with Peter Curran, number 25 for Hawthorn. And, well,
going back to 86 again.
Another Hawthorn player with Tony Hall. We don't have to go back to that anymore. As you see Mark Rasciuto having a chat to the umpires there.
He's taking the mark and he's late.
Well, just Glenn.
Mark and then 50 metres.
Yeah, we're just listening
How
in
many
there.
sirens we had?
He was just, I guess, clarifying something there.
Are we right?
But this first opening bounce, St Kilda with the aid of that breeze. And if they can just be a little bit cleaner, as you mentioned, three-quarter time there, guys, a little bit cleaner, get some clean ball into Stewie Lowe, who's now gone down to the goal square. So you'd be happy with that?
Well, I'm happy with him in the forward 50, but I think he's playing just a fraction deep.
So all in readiness for this final quarter. There is Stewie Lowe and the roving player Milne. A matchup that Nigel Smart would like the ball in the air rather than on the ground there.
Yeah, he's not great at ground level on a small play like that, Nigel, so that's an interesting one and maybe something that St Kilda can use to their advantage.
So Everett to do battle with Marsh. And Marsh getting it down, but going through quickly Thompson. Wrapping up Hart, spills to Baker. Clever kick from him, just pushing it forward quickly. There's the matchup that we were talking about. It was in the air for Smart. At ground level, Crowell. Here's Burke. Can he get the first one? No. He squeezed it through, but it wasn't to be. But dangerous was Nathan Burke, and St Kilda have the first score.
26 points is the lead to the Saints. 11-9 to 7-7, 75 to 49. So it's going to be Benny Hart to bring it back into play from the northern end of Football Park. All-Australian, wonderful defender. One of the leaders for Adelaide. That's a real ground coverer. 4 or 5 up. Everett at the back. Clever work. Xavier Clark trying to pick up, and he does. And he bangs it inside 50 again. They'll contest in the right forward pocket. Lowe got his hands to it. Footy goes through somehow. He's got big hands. They're buckets. No doubt about that. But the leather did make its way through. 75-49. And the umpire to toss it in right forward pocket.
Yeah, it's just the 6 possessions for Stewart this afternoon. Just the 4 marks, and he'll be hoping to build on that to get the Saints back into this game. Here's Milne, live wire, forward pocket. Looking for spot, trying to spot a play in the clear. Does it go 15 metres? It does, and there's the 5th mark for Stewie Lowe. So That's the two-pronged attack they're looking for. One small, one tall.
And you spoke about the matchup with Nigel Smart not being a great one. There, Milne showing his turn of pace, breaking away from Nigel, getting loose and onto his left foot and finding Stewie Lowe. As you said, both very important players. Now, he hasn't kicked well today, Matthew.
No, and I've been backing him all afternoon, so I'll stay with him. Just over 14,000 people here at Football Park. And Stewie Lowe, well, this is an important kick to bring the margin back to 20 points. He's had a couple of tries. He hit the post right on quarter time. So from 45 metres, Stewie Lowe, the start of this last quarter, has kicked it, and here come the Saints.
Three-day reserved grandstand seats at the Clipsal 500 Adelaide are going fast, priced from just $112.50. So book it fast now on 131246.
Channel 10, the AFL and AFL Record are giving you the chance to attend one of the first 3 rounds of the Wizard Home Loans Cup for free when you purchase a copy of the AFL Record pre-season edition. Purchase a copy at your local newsagent for your free coupon.
9.75 Adelaide, 9.75 Adelaide. The Saints are coming, as Matthew said, 8-7, 55. 20 the difference. Marsh, an important year for him, up in ruck. Saints going into attack. Well done, Johnson. Sensing some concern, gets onto it quickly. Down toward right half forward. Rewalt, seen a bit of him. He's an impressive young man. Kicked off the ground by Burton. That was good to Welsh. He releases Rashudo, and Rashudo goes short. And it's forced through for a behind. Big build-up, but nothing doing. 11-10 Adelaide, 76 the Saints, 8-7, 55.
Aussie Jones to bring it in. 20 possessions to Jones. And that falls for Cripps, but he's got to get run down by Doughty. He has support and Rewalt. Peckett, just does well. Just eludes the tackle from Crowell, then bangs it forward inside the forward 50. Out comes Smart for Adelaide. Trying to now just work it around the boundary. Magnificent kick from Nigel Smart. Somehow kept it in and got it to Crowell, who plays on immediately to Goodwin. Adelaide trying to build now. That kick has put Nelson under pressure and Burke. Now the turnover is from Adelaide's point of view. If St Kilda can get it going, Milne's on his own. Thompson got it forward. Good punch from Hart. Now Peckett unloads from 60. Out in front of Milne, but it might go all the way by itself. There's Milne. There's a goal. Here come the Saints. Free kick. Can you believe it? No. Oh. Stephen Milne is proving very dangerous. And unfortunately for him, he's gone and kicked the goal and been pinged 50 metres for it as well.
I am speechless. I need to see a replay of that, but there's no free kick there, surely. Oh, you have got to be kidding, don't they? Break your heart.
Well, the umpire says play on. That's what the Crows do. Poor kick, but Stengline good enough to grab it and then chip it around. And now Crow, who's pretty well in the middle. 11-10, 76. The Saints 8-7, 55. About 60 metres from goal. Long kick, well inside 50 now for Adelaide. They need a goal because the Saints are coming. Wolf in trouble. In fact, it was Voss. Chance now for Doughty. Good tackling, though. It's desperate stuff. Now Rashudo. Hand pass okay. Welsh should kick a goal, and he has. Well, that was good stuff. They just kept persisting there and persisting.
Gee, I know we shouldn't harp on it, but they've taken it from one end of the ground to the other to get the goal. So it's a 2-goal turnaround from a decision in the goal square, not allowing the Milne goal.
Well, I don't know what you can say about it. I mean, to get a decision so wrong like that, I mean, it's just criminal. And now Adelaide, it puts the game almost beyond reach of St Kilda. They've got to kick 5 goals now to get back in front. They kicked that other one. You know, we're into a 2-goal game, and it's a totally different story. It breaks your heart for a young, emerging team like St Kilda. You need your breaks to go your way. That time, the break going the way of the Crows.
Good presence of mind, though, regardless, for Scott Welsh to still bend that through as he was being dragged to the ground. He gets his first for the afternoon. The Crows get the breathing space they were looking for. Cripps searching forward. Everett at ground level. There's Ben Nelson. Tackled by 2 Saints. Baker steals it off of Crow. And McLeod trying to do like... They're stealing it off everyone at the moment. And there's been ruled kicking in danger from Thompson. And away go the Crows quickly. Goodwin Johnson, Rashudo, the midfield combined. Clark chases hard, but Rashudo still gets the kick. Hudson has brought some solidity to that defence as he's gone back there at half-time. Rewalt to Jones, and now they're away, the Saints, to Steve Lawrence. And Burke has found space. And he's got Everett loose for him further afield. Everett, who'll probably get it about 60, 75 metres out. Too far to score, swings back. Up high, Clark, over the top, Hamill. Ground level Thompson, roving it, going back. Black, can he get a play on the lead? That's Stuart Lowe, it's out in front of him, it's too far. Now Biglands, does he search for the boundary? He does. It's well played, just playing the percentages. St Kilda continue to come.
Yeah, just a poor kick by Black. Had Stewie Lowe on his own, just needed to sit the ball up in front of him, but just couldn't quite execute with the lead.
Yeah, 27 points is this lead to Adelaide. What have we played? 7.5 minutes, so we're probably about a third the way through the last quarter in this Wizard Cup clash. It's pretty desperate. And the Saints into attack well and truly. Here's Burke. It's a chance for him to try and keep it in play, being pressured by Simon Goodwin. Burke not happy without the helmet. Not that that's got anything to do with the whole thing. 82-55.
I think we're probably glad the boundary umpires aren't mic'd up there. He wasn't happy, Nathan.
No, he wasn't happy at all. 82-55, that lead 27 points. Adelaide need desperately to get this away from the danger zone. Short kick, too short. Cripps, it was a bit high by Crow. It was a bit crude, and the umpire, I would think, is going to pull this back. Yep, and Cripps is going to have another crack at it. So Crow just a little bit too high there. Another look at it, no question about that.
Got to like his work, Cripps. He's been a really good player in the second half, especially some nice work in the midfield, nice and hard and tough at the footy.
He's had 11 disposals so far. Here he goes. This to bring the margin back to 21. Cripps from 40 metres, and he's missed to the right-hand side. I'll have to have a look at him. There's the confirmation. So it's 82-56, and we played almost 9 minutes last quarter.
Well, he's been no orphan today with their goal kicking St Kilda. They just haven't set up properly at all with their shots for goal.
Good work on the mark at that stage as well by Crow, and he has it now to Ben Hart, who's running, and he's got some space in front of him. He's also got Rashudo. Quick hands, Johnson. Oh, that was well played. Hart, who backed out, who kept running. Ball comes to ground. Jones, been good for the Saints. Brett Voss. Well, that is a handball they probably would rather have another time. A little bit ambitious, but here they go through Cripps to Thompson, who just lost that for a second, but still kept his feet and kept going. And now he gets it to Steve Lawrence. Lawrence now looking for a mark inside 50. Milne, not the marking player they want. It was only Burke or Milne. Smart. And Adelaide with enough numbers. Great tackle from Aaron Hamill on Tyson. Stengline, terrific.
It was a great tackle.
Aggression.
But your point about you know, the tall targets again, and we've said it on numerous occasions, Milne and Burke, the two key targets at centre half forward, are not the options you'd be looking for running off half back.
Adelaide lead by 26 points. We played a tick under 10 minutes of the last quarter. Pye says play it on. Well, here's a chance now for the Saints, and he's missed. And that was Andrew Thompson. He was steaming into goal, and he misses to the right.
Well, boys, they have not been without their chances. Even given the free kick against Milne and the resultant goal to the Adelaide Footy Club, St Kilda have not been out without their chances in the second half.
Well, they've been the dominant team in the second half, haven't they, possession-wise?
Yeah, they certainly have been all over the Crows, especially from about the midway mark of the third quarter.
But Adelaide's still in control on the scoreboard. It's a 25-point margin. The short kick goes to Smart. He just pops it over the top to Tyson Edwards. A couple of dual premiership players combining there, and another short one to Ben Hart.
Poor old Aussie. He was right in the middle of him and Johnson.
Aussie in the middle. And it goes to Kane Johnson. Strulo working the mark, making sure, or holding up Johnson for as long as it's possible without infringing, as Johnson now searching for a tall timber player in Ben Marsh. He came over the top of Lawrence, who is sore, he's hurt, he's down, but he gets up, and he is very tough, as is Steve Lawrence. There's Heath Black, who will be an important player in this team this year.
Look, Robert Harvey certainly needs some help in the midfield, and Heath Black is going to be one of those players.
That was Marsh going right over the top as the boundary throw in here in front of the members at Football Park. St Kilda desperately trying to get some reward for their effort, as Edwards gets it from Rashudo, and a beautiful kick from Edwards.
There's the difference.
Burton out. Haven't seen a goal kick in this pocket since Brian Benke, which was all 2 quarters ago.
Very good.
And he gets it to Tyson Stengline. He squared it up. He knew it was impossible, Chris, but they've worked it to the other side where obviously it's a lot easier. But Benke now has to get round Brett Voss. On the up to Welsh. Welsh tucked in the pocket, hooks it back well and gets it to Ben Marsh. Everyone arriving late, but the mark has been paid and Ben Marsh will take the shot.
Great kick by Scottish Welsh there, just to square the ball to Benny Marsh. And he does some nice work up in the forward lines, Benny Marsh. He's got to start developing his game as a ruckman, but certainly far better noted as a forward pocket specialist for the Adelaide Footy Club, taking a nice mark, and he's normally a fairly accurate kick for goal.
Well, he's played 40 senior games. He's managed 16 goals in that time. And this would be an important one for Adelaide to make it very difficult for St Kilda. And he has missed by quite a way to the left. So disappointing result for him and just the behind to Adelaide.
And in punting terms, we haven't picked too many winners today with shots for goals. Stewie Lowe's let us down.
Do we ever?
Now big Benny Marsh has let us down. No, you're right.
Aussie Jones, southern end of Football Park. Only, how many here today? About 10, wasn't it?
Just over 14.
Oh, 14 was it? Okay, 14,000. About the same as last week. The Port Essendon game. Now, what's going on here, Chris? Walk us through this.
He's walking through about 50 metres, I think, for just taking a step over the line. Oh, we'll get it right one day.
Okay, so there it is. Umpire says that's where you've got to stand. The Saints all of a sudden down towards 60, now inside 50. An infringement against Stengline. And Fraser Garrick will take this free kick. Stengline disappointed with this.
Yeah, just got him over the shoulder there. A little bit of a clumsy attempt to spoil, and Garrick held his ground well, but the free kick was there.
One of the key defenders, Fraser Garrick, for the Saints. He's doing up his shoelace. Making sure that everything falls into place, Chris. You've got to have everything organised, don't you?
You've got to have your kit in order.
Yep. 83-57. And we played 13 minutes and around about 40 seconds of this, the last quarter. Wizard Home Loan Cup action. And the Saints will go down. The Crows will prevail, and they'll be undefeated so far in this competition. So Fraser Garrick taking plenty of time. The preparation is so important. He's about 50 out. It's a long kick. It's almost there. 2 or 3 up over the head of the pack. And it's through for a behind. So a huge build-up, but a little anticlimactic there. Adelaide 12-11-83. The Saints 8-10-58.
You're not giving him a chance, Mark?
No,
the Saints,
not now.
Brave call?
Not now.
Oh, very brave call. Could come back to haunt you.
Well, look, it may well come back to haunt me.
As Rewalt is there for St Kilda, but the ball comes to ground, and Stengline was in the right spot, front and square. They work it round to the centre wing. Shell come out to meet it, as did Johnson. Maguire, good vision. Saints had 2 in the middle, and they've got players on the other side if Cripps can just get free. Oh. Great working on the mark by Rashudo. Now Cripps goes to the other side and finally gets to Steve Lawrence, but just enough by Rashudo on the mark just to delay it, so Adelaide gets some numbers back. Lawrence now, the leading player was Rewalt, and he gets one for in the back. He back onto it. Obviously, there's the move made by Grant Thomas. The young player has moved from centre-half back to centre forward, or has he just run down and followed the player, Chris?
I think he's actually just pushed himself down, but he's been pretty good today. You know, his job on Burton's probably not an ideal matchup for the big fella, but he's certainly held his own. Burton's kicked his 3, but he can certainly walk off the ground with his head up today.
Well, this would be one that Mark Aston will be watching closely, because it could put the Saints a little bit closer. He's happy, he's got it, and they get back. Another goal to St Kilda.
Bricks, topsoil planks.
Topsoil planks, handbrake.
Bugger. Bugger.
Bugger.
Bugger me.
Bugger. Will always look good in a Hilux.
12-11-83. The Saints 9-10-64. And that margin, as Matthew made quite clear, was 19 points. So the Saints still with a chance. Peckett, long hand pass. They're about to go forward. Aussie Jones, left footer, inside the 50. They need a mark, and they've got a mark. And it's Stewie Lowe, and he's going to kick from 30, perhaps even less, about 25.
But again, just shows the advantage of tall timber up in your forward lines. You don't have to be pinpoint with your pass. You've just got to get it in the air. And when you've got a hands like Stewie Lowe, beautiful catch by the big fella.
And good work by Milne. He knew that Lowe was coming through, just held off, didn't go for it, kept Smart out of the contest.
Yeah, very good. And I wouldn't be putting myself in a contest with Stewie Lowe, that's for sure. But a beautiful catch by the big fella with the flight of the footy. He has not kicked well for goal today. He's missed probably, I think, at least 2 goals. This one is one he must kick.
Well, he's got to kick it, no doubt about that for the Saints. 83-64. Here's Stewie, right foot, and he has split the centre. So that is his second. You heard all clear.
CommSec understands people on the move can't always stay up to date with their share prices. That's why we've introduced SMS alerts. So no matter where you are or what time it is, you can stay in touch with the share market. commsec.com.au.
Why do kids love Charlie's? Same reason everyone does. It's fresh, fun and fantastic value. Charlie's all-you-can-eat family diner. Make a feast of it every delicious day of the year.
Actually, within a
Long
kick.
ball, absolutely.
So they have a bit of momentum. Adelaide now being asked the question as Rashudo pushes forward. Big punch from Fraser Gehrig. And there's a free kick, and it's going to the Saints. So a free kick will go to Heath Black as we go down to the boundary line. Francis Leach.
Yeah, Nick Riewold's gone up forward. Stewie Lowe's there as well, as is Aaron Hamill. So the Saints are obviously going to try and take a few catches up forward and maybe snatch this game.
Well, they may be listening to Chris McDermott because he's been crying for that all afternoon as Jason Cripps heads towards Nick Riewoldt. Spills over the bait. Can Blake get there first? He can. Loses his balance. Good tackle by Stengline. And holding the ball is the decision by umpire Michael Avon. And away go the Crows. And it's Bassett on the outer side.
Yeah, it could be a crucial play that as far as Adelaide is concerned. Welsh now. It's 83-70, the margin 13. As the Adelaide side work it forward. And they've got a chance here to go inside 50. This is Goodwin. Long kick, well inside 50. Big pack, great mark, Crow. Strong grab, strong hands, and he's about 30 metres out directly in front.
Well, he is a supremely fit athlete, is young Andrew Crowell. Beautiful overhead, can run, can jump. Known more as a defender, but at that stage pushing himself down, dropping into the hole, and a great catch overhead.
Well, there's the angle, and there is none. He is directly in front. He's going back, he's concentrating.
And a result of this, I mean, this is Tyson Stengline's goal. I mean, it was a beautiful tackle, just showing why he won that Best Team Man award.
Played 11 of the first 12 games last year, made his debut in 2000 for Adelaide. Here he is now, his side 13 points up. And he has split the centre. So it's 19 points to the Crows late in this quarter.
Bricks, topsoil, planks.
Topsoil, planks, handbrake.
Bugger.
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 Bugger me.
Will always look good in a Hilux.
Crowell gets his first, and he also gets some attention from Fraser Gehrig. Margin to 19 points, but we've still got plenty of time for St Kilda. But that was the goal that Adelaide needed, and they certainly got it via some good work in defence. Stengline there again, just pushed it forward. Here's Gehrig, uses the ball well, got it to Cripps. Black running for him through the centre circle, gets some distance with that kick. Milne on the lead, and Milne gets it. They won't give in, the Saints. They're almost playing him like a leading full forward.
But you've got to ask why they haven't been doing it all day. I mean, there, Heath Black, he gets the ball in the midfield. All he has to worry about is getting it inside 50. Just goes long. He doesn't go to Milne on the lead, but there's open spaces because you've got your big man. Bang, he finds a target.
Well, he kicked one in the second quarter, one in the third. This is for his third of the afternoon, and he keeps them within touch. He's got 3. Stephen Milne, well done. Wonderful play by the Saints, reminiscent of what Adelaide just did. They worked it from their half-back line, good use of the ball, direct, straight down the goals.
Keeping it simple too. I mean, maximum yardage, minimum use. I think that's what it's all about. Get the ball forward as quickly as you can.
This lead now is 13, and you're dead right, that was beautiful delivery. Good speed by Milne. He did get a hand in there, did get a fist in there, Smart. But Milne was able to mark and goal.
Here we go.
So it's 13 points deep into the last quarter. 13-11 to 11-10. Exciting stuff in the last term. Wizard Cup home loan action. Adelaide and the Saints, both first up winners, both desperate to win, and there's 4.5 minutes remaining. So the Saints can do it. They're right back in business.
Oh, they can do it now, Mark.
Well, yes, they can do it. Yes, they can do it. It's a funny game. It isn't over until it's over. Let me tell you that.
That's too cliche in a sentence.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
magnificent.
well, I was instructed to say that one. 13-11 to 11-10. Here's Doughty under pressure from Cripps. Over the footy. Time ticking away. And Adelaide hanging on. But only just 13 points is their lead. We've played 22.5 minutes last quarter.
Regardless of the result, Chris, St Kilda have worked very hard in this second half. They came out after half-time and their work ethic has improved immensely.
Yeah, much better brand of footy as well.
So, Rashudo just deciding basically himself that there should be a ball up there. He stopped and said, oh, we're not going anywhere here.
And, you know, just got their midfield working much better. St Kilda with the use of Black, the use of Cripps in the midfield. You know, a couple of changes to the forward line set up as well.
So we've got a big group of players around the ball, and it's an Adelaide free kick against Everett. Goes to Clark, much to the delight of this Adelaide crowd. A big cheer as Clark then switches it to the running Biglands. The kick was untidy though, put Biglands under pressure. If that ball stays in, it may suit.
Great attack on the footy.
I was going to say it was going to suit St Kilda, but Tyson Stengline got there quickly. The tackle from Lowe went around his neck. And now the free kick to Tyson Stengline, as we see here, on the up, picked it up, and Stewart just came in too high. Stengline gets under that, so tough one to mark, but if Burton's there, it's a chance. Oh, great work, fantastic handball on the up from Voss, but they cut it off the Crows. Benke slapped it towards Bickley. He gets it in turn to Goodwin, out to Johnson. There's a bit on behind play as the ball goes to the goal square. Here's a chance for Daniel Shell, and that may be the one that the Crows get to put the game beyond doubt.
I like to extract the filling.
I like it with chips.
How do you eat yours?
She said she was 25. He presumed she was of age. She lied.
She was a client.
She says. He says. She swears.
Why did you lie?
A special double guardian, 8:30 Wednesday.
Well, the lead is out to 19 points. It's not much, but it may be enough. It may be enough. We are deep into this last quarter, and the Crows hanging on, but it's been a very, very impressive last, I guess, quarter and a half by the Saints. Rashudo battling, trying to work his way in another direction to that of Aaron Hamill, and eventually the umpire says, I'll throw it up. 95-76. So Adelaide, although pretty impressive in that first half, but the Saints very good.
Well, the Saints, what they've done by getting close in this game, with their 68-point win last week, they're still giving themselves an opportunity. Should Adelaide fumble at the last hurdle, or stumble, I should say, if they happen to lose to Melbourne here next week. So their percentage will still see them in with a chance to go through.
And more importantly, you spoke about credibility and respect, and they've certainly got that today.
It's Heath Black, number 6 for the Saints. 95-76. Hope you've enjoyed our coverage. It's been an intriguing game. We thought it might have been a blowout, but you would think that the Saints hierarchy would be relatively happy. I mean, they won't be happy with a loss, but they certainly haven't given in. Here's Andrew McLeod, beautiful hand pass to him, and he has kicked a wonderful goal. Sensational stuff from Andrew McLeod, and that is the ball game.
Bricks, topsoil, planks.
Topsoil, planks, handbrake.
Bugger.
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 Bugger me.
Bugger.
We'll He'll always look good in a Hilux.
Handball, so he's had plenty of the footy today as well.
He's had 24 disposals in total.
Adelaide have kicked the last 2, and they've got the margin out to a very comfortable 25 points now. And perhaps, well, they'll be very pleased that they have picked up just when the game looked to be perhaps getting away from them. They've picked the last couple. They go forward again, and it's Gehrig who makes good position against Burton. The ball luckily gets back towards Johnson, though. Dowdy got it back to Welsh. He's got one. He's looking for his second. And all of a sudden, the Crows are just finishing this game off. And that percentage thing I was talking about is going out the window. Another goal to the Crows. Another goal to Scott Welsh in 3 and 2 minutes. And that is the ball game.
I thought they would win.
Oh, yeah, here we go.
And we've spoken today about the skill level of both teams, how St Kilda's certainly let them down. The Crows certainly hasn't today. Their foot skills have been fantastic. Dowdy with the ball onto Welsh. Left foot or right foot around goal. Scott Welsh is a great finisher. Kicked 4 last week against the Bears today. Adding to that tally. Beautiful on the left foot. Just a beautiful kick for goal. Great balance.
Actually, on a serious note, you just can't write any team off these days, can you, in 5 or 6 minutes of footy? They can kick 4 or 5 quick goals
very quickly,
as the Saints did, and you can fall for the old 3-card trick. Anyway, 16-11-107. Adelaide, the Saints 11-10-76. And it's inside the attacking zone. Lenny Hayes, the hand pass just didn't quite reach his mark. He's got to go in again and try and battle for it. 4 or 5 over the top of him. 107-76. Adelaide will win.
And again, boys, the Crows forward line, the new look forward line continues to work, continues to produce. Benke, Shell, Welsh all today contributing to goals.
They've spread it around, haven't they? Burton's got 3, Shell's got 3. And you mentioned Welsh has got 2. Here's Dowdy trying to get involved in the act and get another one. It's just on the line. It's through. So Adelaide finishing this game off beautifully. And another goal. And that is another goal to Michael Dowdy. That's his second. 4 quick goals by the Crows. And probably, in the context of the game, disappointing that they'll look at the margin and say, well, St Kilda were never in this, but they were.
Yeah, it's not a true reflection of Michael Dowdy, who we've spoken about before, had a good game against the Bears, the Lions last week. Again, knocking up today with 18 touches off a wing, a couple of goals. And really, the wings are a trouble spot for Adelaide. They haven't got natural wingmen in their team. James Gallagher, a young player, an emerging young player, injured at the moment. Dowdy putting his hands up. A great performance today, following up his good performance last week. A real chance to start the season on the wing for the Crows.
So all of a sudden, it looks like a comprehensive win, because Adelaide have dominated over the last 4 or 5 minutes. Here's Cripps over toward Thompson. Lenny Hayes runs into trouble. That was Scher. Opportunity for them to go forward now. Long kick, Lawrence for the Saints inside their attacking 50. And that was quite clever by Milne. Got it out. Long hand pass by Peckett. Left foot kick, and there it is. It is over. And the Crows have prevailed. 17-11-113. They've defeated the Saints 11-10-76.
Yes, that point just counting there. Heathblake just right on the side will actually make that 11-11. So a straight 6-goal margin. The Crows, 4 of those goals in the last 4 or 5 minutes. And they will be very happy with their win. They are now undefeated. They will return here to Football Park for their 3rd round next week. And now would see themselves as favourite to move through to the semi-final.
Welcome back to Football Park. Final score, Adelaide over the Saints, 17-11-113. The Saints 11-11-77, the margin 36 points. Burton and Shell 3 apiece. Doughty, Welsh and McLeod 2 apiece for Adelaide. Milne kicked 3, Lowe 2 for the Saints, and a number of players with singles. Let's have a look at those. Crow, Edwards, Bode, Binky and Goodwin for Adelaide, and for the Saints, Cripps, Blake and Wolf. Rob Popplestone joined us. Anything in particular that you liked, that you saw today, that the Crows did?
Really impressed the way the Crows were able to stabilise once they were pressured late in that last quarter, get the momentum back in their favour, and then run away quite impressively with the game.
And their forward structure wasn't too bad, was it?
Pretty good, pretty good. It will improve as the games go by.
OK, let's have a look at the 3rd round of the Wizard Home Loans Cup. Friday night, Richmond taking on Carlton, West Coast taking on Geelong.
Yeah, look, should be a good round of football, as we've gotten used to. On Saturday, of course, Western Bulldogs up against Port Adelaide. Port Adelaide get out of the state for the first time. They travel to Colonial Stadium. OK,
Brisbane and the Saints, Freo and Essendon. And let's have a look at the remaining games. On Sunday, the Hawks and Sydney, Adelaide and Melbourne, and Collingwood and the Kangaroos. Big one for Adelaide. Well, they got through, so that's 2 in a row for Adelaide. That's a good start for them.
It is indeed a perfect start. So, look, all signs are good for Crows fans and Crows coaching staff. It can only improve from here on in.
Thanks, Rob. On behalf of all of our commentators, bye for now.
The AFL Pre-Season Cup, proudly brought to you by...